That's good. This looks good. I think. Yep. All right. Now we just have to kind of wait for everything to pop on and be live. So, oh, look at that. There we go. What's up, Fernando? How's it going? Do 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 do. Yeah. And pop that. What up, Jags? How's it going, you guys? Everything's slowly but surely getting started over here. Hopefully we're having good evenings. It's really cold out where I'm at. It's been miserably cold today, actually. All right, for sure, Fernando. Just chat when you can. It's not a big deal. Yeah, there's nothing really too strict to talk about tonight. I just kind of was like, well, I guess I'll just go live and kind of chat about whatever happens to pop into people's minds. It could be football, it could be whatever. I'm not really feeling too strict about anything, I guess. I don't know. Few things I have to think. I have a few things I want to talk about tonight, but most of them are going to be football related. But we'll get to those bridges when we get to those bridges, cross them, shit on them. Yeah, there we go. I made about 2 minutes. He'd be scared probably. He'd be like, uh-oh. What about Malcolm X? I think a better one would be Malcolm X. I don't think anyone would be too afraid of Martin Luther King, you know what I mean? That guy's pretty, he seems like a pretty pleasant guy. Or if you want to be really funny, you could throw in the abolitionist John Brown. He was just like pretty much a radical terrorist. Is about as radical as it can get. With the way he went about trying to enact change, which was just kill a bunch of people and bomb stuff. Crazy guy, John Brown. They don't really teach. I don't feel like they teach a lot about that guy in schools for whatever reason. They're like, let's avoid the absolute fucking nut job from Kansas that went around shooting people and then started like weird acts of civil terrorism to make slavery no longer a thing. It was pretty crazy. It's one of them things I think you learn about once you get to college and you go, damn, I wish I would have learned like 3% of the shit I'm learning about right now back in school, because that sounds like a cool story. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys got on your minds tonight? Hopefully something fun. If no one really has anything immediately, I could just kind of go on, you know, some stuff I got to talk about. But I guess in the meantime, I'll probably spark off the conversation a little bit. So I've been doing a little bit of thinking, a little bit of speculating on my own time, as I typically like to do, with what exactly, like what might actually happen with Tua. Like what's his career trajectory looking like? And I've come to the conclusion he actually could retire. I didn't know about this super cryptic, super vague post he made the other day where he kind of referenced like this is the end of a chapter and he's moving on to a new one, where you could kind of interpret it in a number of ways, right? You could interpret it as He's, it's the end of this year's chapter. He's moving on to next season. It could be the end of playing for the Dolphins. Like, there's so many different ways you could interpret it. Based on the head injuries, there's some weird readings you can get from it. So, I don't know. It's just fun to think about what his future might actually be. Could he retire? I don't know. Kind of leaning on no still, but I definitely could see now why people are like, I don't know, he might be in the retirement camp at some point here. So, always something to think about. Yeah, it is pretty dead in here. I should probably just end the stream. Yeah, I seen people were talking about it. People are pretty pumped up for that card coming up. I like how people who are actively watching the stream are just like dead chat, and it's like, well, fucking talk, dipshit, or just get the fuck out of here. Here you go. I'll make it easier for you to leave. Peace. It's annoying. I hate when people do shit like that. It's really retarded. So I'm gonna be quiet, and then I don't think so, Jags. It doesn't feel like it. Absolutely nobody's here, and it's like, huh? Another stream of no mods on a Friday night. That's a little weird. People are probably all getting their mods removed unless they want to show up. Oh, I was busy. Yeah, every night you've been busy. That's crazy. Don't know where anyone's at. It's really weird though. Like I said, I think something's wrong with my channel. I feel like I'm on the suppressed list again because we're down to like, again, it hasn't been this bad in a really long time on this channel. It's all the way down to 3 people. See what I mean? I don't know what happened. Things were going really good on the channel, and then now they aren't, like, at all. Such is life, I guess. Oh, if I end, I'm not going to go back live. I'm just not going to stream tonight. Last 3 nights have been pretty bad, so I really don't know what's the point. I guess I should just start streaming maybe 2 times a week. That way people show up now. That seems to be a much more effective strategy. But it is what it is. Oh no, yeah, it's gonna get deleted. Yeah, they fucking fuck these retards. This is a bad. I don't know what happened with this stream. In the last 2. Be like, I guess I might go live on Sunday. I don't know about tomorrow even. I don't think there's any point. I guess people are, too busy. I don't know. It's weird because 90% most likely everyone who normally watches the channel could be watching the stream. But hey, it is what it is. We'll give it a little while. Maybe the stream will get going, but not feeling too likely. Yeah, I don't think anyone's coming through. But hey, maybe someone will pop in. Who knows? I don't know. Does anybody actually who's watching, other than Jags, have anything to say? I guess not. Hello? Anybody out there? Out there? Out there? Don't say anything if you think Mac Jones is the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. Mac Jones is the best quarterback in football. Thank you, everyone who's watching, for agreeing with me. What else we got? Patrick Mahomes, overrated weirdo. Don't say anything if you agree with me. All right, there we go. 2 for 2. Precisely, Jags. Nobody has anything to say. I'm going to just run through all my craziest beliefs, and if I'm going to take abject silence as everyone agrees with me. Joe Biden, top 1 president of all time. What else we got going on? Obama, second best president of all time. Let's see. Let's keep her going. Trump, pretty bad president. Just start making people angry. Jeffrey Epstein definitely did do that to himself. He wasn't killed by anybody. Oh, we lost a viewer. We're losing them now. Now they're like, oh, fuck you. Again, abject silence means you agree with everything I'm saying. The Clintons are good people. What up, stud? It's only us 3. Oh, does it actually say? How do you know that how do you know participants? Does it show it? And where the hell can I see this? Yeah, we're doing a thing where if nobody says anything, I'm just taking that as tacit agreement with everything I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just like, well, if no one disagrees with me, I'm just going to go ahead and spread my agenda. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, well, he should have been MVP. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed he's not nominated and going to win. What up, Max? Yeah, some people are starting to kind of pop in a little bit now. All right, look at that. The stream's starting to get going, folks. All I had to do was spread liberal agenda. Now out here making moves. This is a weird stream. I don't think this one's staying up, folks. This is one of them, if you pay for this channel, I think you can keep it. But otherwise, it's probably going to be members only. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I don't know what's going on tonight. Just another weird example of my channel not doing well for some reason for the last 3 days. I don't know what happened. Is what it is, though. I'm sure this weekend things will be back to like a more normal stasis. Or not, but we'll see. What up, then? At least some people who like to chat are coming through now. That's always nice. Now it doesn't feel like there's less people. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, now we got some people who will chit chat a little bit. So that's pretty nice. This is the weirdest start to a stream ever. You guys should have seen it. Like before I started talking all about praising liberals and stuff, it was fucking ghost town in here. It was crazy. Yeah, I don't think anybody got notifications. I think that's a big problem with the stream right now. I think approximately 0 of them were sent out. Don't know why my channel's not doing. I don't know what happened again. Looks like we went in a fucking wacko world. You didn't get one? For sure, that makes a lot more sense. And you would definitely be the one to get one, so. Yeah, and I got one, but like I seem to get all mine. Yeah, dude, it's horse shit. Like if I was uploading videos, you'd all get the notification. So it's kind of annoying. Yeah, Fernando, I've read that like 6 times that you said that, dude. Yeah, I know. You said that. I know. I just tease what to tease. See, Jax had the advice of stopping and restarting the stream, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Yeah, if you follow me on Twitch and you ever see me go live on Twitch, just know that means I'm live on YouTube. Oh, that would help, Fernando. Yeah, I already said. Oh, okay, Fernando. Yeah, you're good. By the way, if you haven't left a like, please click like so that way maybe more people can pop in. That's it seems to be absolutely critical at this juncture tonight. What up, JJ? 59,000 yards, 475 touchdowns, 105. Is that Rodgers? No, there's no way Rodgers has 100 picks. What up, Kenny? Jets better hope they land Rodgers or the Hackett hiring. Yeah, it's Rodgers. It really? He's throwing 100 picks? I'm going to be honest. I did not think he'd thrown 100 picks. Royal Rumble? Ooh, that should actually be kind of good. It's cold where I'm at. Yeah, Max, I actually 100% agree with that statement. Like, they're even like he-and acting like they're going to get Aaron Rodgers. Did you guys see that quote by, oh, Ven, you'll love this today. Ven is the biggest fan of the Jets acting like they're going to get Aaron Rodgers just like the Broncos were last year. Ven was telling me in DMs that he really hopes the Jets succeed so he can cheer for them. And I was like, ugh, the Jets. He's like, yeah, I love them guys. It's so cool that like they're like What's up, Donald? How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, since the comment section anyway. How you doing, man? I got the 49ers and the Bengals. What about you, Donald? Where's it at? This must have been a what the heck? Oh yeah, we had a lot of weird long conversations in here today. Man, we gotta get hobbies. We gotta get out of this fucking Discord. There we go. Found it. It was Jesus Christ. You really hope the Jets get Rodgers. I want to vomit out of my nose. Here you go, Ven. Here's another good example of the Jets totally acting like they're not going to get this guy. It's really adorable. You can see his goofy smile pop in. Look at the smile on his face. Look at the smile on that big ass turtle face. The last question is in Robert Presser's in Salah's presser yesterday. It's plausible to go into next season with a veteran quarterback and have an open competition. He was asked this to have an open competition with Zach Wilson. He responded, "I don't know about that one," and smiles. This tells me it's definitely a big game quarterback they might be after, and not Jimmy G. And look at that's probably where he answers the question, and then he smiles. Look at that smile. Hold on. That's a man who's 100% certain that he's getting Aaron Rodgers. So, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. What's up, Mike? How's it going, man? That is the look of a coach who 1,000,000% believes, oh, we're getting Aaron Rodgers. With this statement, saying he doesn't think that Wilson will be in open competition. Oh, you're fighting sleep, Mike? Yeah, Fernando, what happened? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm surprised you came in, Mike. I always forget that you have like weird work schedules where you work at like 1 a.m. or some god awful time on Saturdays. Yeah, it's just weird the way the Jets are acting about the whole thing, in my opinion. It's just got this like super weird energy. They're acting just like the Broncos did last year. To be fair, I think most Jets fans don't really want him either. Kenny wants Baker Mayfield. Oh, I seen Kenny. What up, Kenny? What'd you say? I'm sorry. I don't care what happens. Kenny's like, I don't care anymore. Carr. Yeah, I thought Carr would be perfect. You just got you got to watch the Royal Rumble on TV tomorrow. Yeah, Kev, I think I might as well. I've been saying that, and a bunch of fucking Packers fans were getting upset at me. About what, Ven? Yeah, Stud, I kind of agree with that. You're all right? Are you all right, Fernando? You might want to go talk to your parents then. Damn, the steak really popping now. Steam. Yeah, it's gotten going a little bit about how cringe the Jets are. But yeah, and I don't know why other Packers fans are attacking you about it. What's up, politics? Yeah, I would have waited to get Hackett. It's like, why would you go get Nathaniel Hackett right now when it's not guaranteed Rodgers even cares about that guy? Oh, welcome everybody. I'm glad I stayed live. You guys should have been here like 10 minutes ago. This shit was a ghost town. It was me, Jags, and Fernando. What's up, Seth? Okay, Kenny wants Caleb Williams. Joe Namath is trying to get Rodgers on. Yeah, everybody's trying to get Rodgers on the Jets. It's insanity. Packers exclusive. Yeah, I tend to avoid those discords, like those big community ones. But it's kind of retarded because I'm like a content creator, and I'd probably spike my viewership because a lot of them places allow like content creators that are like decently sized ones, not like 100 subscriber ones. A lot of them places will let like people with like my kind of subscriber, like 8,000, be like, all right, you're small enough, you can post. I don't know why I'm not like in a bigger community. Yeah, it's an annoying. It's a weird thing. It feels like Rodgers is going to leave, right? And a surprise move, Green Bay gives Rodgers more money to play 2 more seasons. I'm doing good, chilling. Got Philly and Cincinnati. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, Donald. I just think the Niners are too good defensively for Philly. We'll see, though. Man, this is going to be a fun offseason. I hope Rodgers decides what he's going to do quick so the Packers don't have to worry about it all offseason. It's just the I agree with Ven on this, by the way. The Jets are acting like it's just like this weird energy about getting Aaron Rodgers, like we got him, and it's like, guys, he literally, I don't even think does he want to go there? Do you think the Chargers should get the Rams offensive coordinator who got interviewed, or Joe Brady who coached LSU for Burrow and Chase? Who is the Rams OC? Are you talking about Zach Robinson? If you're talking about Zach Robinson, I think you guys might want to go with Robinson. My Texans announced on Twitter that their first choice will be the Texans are really going to go for a quarterback. Wait, which Myers, Kenny? Yes, Robinson. Yeah, I'd go Zach Robinson then politics. Rodgers needs a new team or retire. I think Rodgers stays. I don't know what to believe about it. I don't think Rodgers will leave. I think he likes the attention. He is Karen Rodgers. Somebody made a very good point. You can take credit for it here. And I think this is one of the strongest points I've literally ever heard about the situation. Aaron probably doesn't want to be Brett Favre. Like, somebody pointed out, like, if he goes and follows this asshole over to, goes over to the Jets, it's literally Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's the same weird cycle that we seen Brett Favre take when he was, leaving Green Bay, and that was, yeah, Stud. Thank you. Yeah, Stud literally pointed out one of the smartest things I've seen about it, and I'm like, yeah, what if is he really gonna do this? Do you think that's something that would like play in his mind anyway? Your Eagles are about to get draft pick. Eagles have a decent pick, I think, this year. New York would be good. Yeah, that's true, Kev. If he's a big city guy. I don't know if he is, though. The Texans are a fan joke if they go. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with quarterback. Michael Mayer. Okay. What position he play? I want the 49ers to win, but I think Eagles could be more enjoyable. Eagles have a funner offense for sure. Go get Tom Brady. No, Tom Brady doesn't need to be a Jet. Tight end. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Mahomes is starting, by the way, and I think he's not even like on the injury report anyway. I'm pretty sure like at the end of the week report here that he's just off the report. What's up, Jeremy? How's it going, man? So again, is he did have a high ankle sprain, but again, you know how it's like a graded injury? I think he had basically a very bad sprained ankle that bordered on being a high ankle sprain. I think there's you can kind of see the distinction because everyone's like, Mahomes played on it and Mac looked like he got shot in the ankle. Yeah, because a real fucking high ankle sprain is very painful. Most human beings on earth, if you have a real high ankle sprain, you can barely move on that thing. Most guys in the NFL have to get carted off the field. Mahomes just he hurt his ankle. I'm not going to say he didn't. But it was probably a pretty low grade high ankle sprain. You back to school next weekend, man? Oh, that's always a bummer. I've been back a semester for a couple weeks now. Yeah, that'll be like you know that movie Old Yeller? If Tom Brady became a Jet, it'd be like one of them situations where like you just hear like a bunch of Patriots fans crying and shit. They're like, nah, ma, I'll do it. That there's my quarterback. Have to take him out and then put two behind the shit. It's like why do we have to do this to Tom? You hate Mahomes. You want Cincinnati to win. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Chiefs fans. I want to actually talk about that game for a second here in a second. I don't want until I don't end until the end of May. The caveat of starting late. I was gonna say that sounds like a different kind of. Is it a private college? Where's Tom Brady going? You think, Seth? Could any of us imagine Brady to the Jets and him winning a Super Bowl with a third team? I could see him winning a Super Bowl with a third team, but I don't think it'd be with the Jets. Yeah, I would have to agree. I don't think the Jets have the O-line where Tom wants to go. You have to think about, like, one of the things that's going to prevent a lot of teams from landing Tom Brady is offensive line, and the Jets do not have the line to support Tom at 46. It's like maybe if their line got dramatically better somehow in one off season, Tom would consider it. But you got to remember, he's got to go somewhere where he's got a better line than what they had in Tampa. And it's like, all right, that crosses out a number of teams. Because even in their most depleted form, that was a pretty good offensive line down there. Oh yeah, I want to talk about this game. So I don't know if you guys have been following either the Chiefs or the Bengals prior to this game, but I can't recall a game in which two teams have openly engaged in more shit talk than these two teams have. We have shit like the Bengals players are calling Arrowhead Stadium Burrowhead Stadium. We've got shit like the Cincinnati mayor ordering that Patrick Mahomes takes a DNA test, or Joe Burrow should take a DNA test to prove that he's not the father of Patrick Mahomes. Like, dude, there's so much crazy shit going on between these. They asked Willie Gay Jr. what he likes, what he's most impressed about, what he likes most about the Bengals offense, what he thinks about it. He's like, nothing to be impressed about, nothing. It's just like, oh my God. I think Chris Jones today at the end of his press conference was like, see y'all at Burrowhead Stadium. And he just walked away all solemnly. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Both teams are well aware that the other one's been talking crazy shit for about a week now. And these are two of the fastest, I think this is one of the fastest growing rivalries in football right now. So I think we're going to get what could be considered probably the first chapter of the rivalry. I know we've had the 3 games prior to this, but again, I again that first game last year and the didn't really have the hype behind it, right? The playoff game certainly is a little bit more that put the spark behind it. Right now, it's kind of got that like oomph. Then they play that game again and the Bengals win, and that was enough to make the Bengals start chirping. And like now the Chiefs, who are like this, supposed dynasty, are like, we can't fucking what the fuck is happening? And like they're probably starting to get annoyed. They're like, all right, we got to go out there and beat the fuck out of these guys. We're not playing this. Yeah, that's it's a rivalry for the fans, kind of like how Brady and Manning were, where I'm guessing Mahomes and Burrow probably get along really well. So guys, don't think it's anything more than like the teams just don't like playing each other, because it is what it is. I'm pretty sure these guys are all pretty close, or at least they don't hate each other. Don't fall for the shit that I fell for because I have 5 IQ when I was growing up. They all hate each other. No, I'm pretty sure if Tom seen Peyton in real life, he'd beat the fuck out of him. I used to get into debates about this, by the way. Like which NFL player would win in fights and who hated each other the most. Who would choose to go to the Jets? I will say, though, to kind of back the Jets up a little bit, I don't think the Jets are a destitute situation right now. You've got a very talented young receiver, very good defense, a very good young running back when he's healthy, bits and pieces of an okay offensive line, a good draft and one signing could fix a lot of their problems. Decent receiver. Again, Garrett Wilson's a very good wide receiver. He got 1,000 goddamn yards with nobody. They have decent tight ends. They've got a decent receiving core. Like it's actually, if you're a quarterback and you don't have a team, it's like, wait a minute, I kind of want to go to the Jets. Why? Well, I only got to score 20 points and we'll win 90% of our games. I'll probably win 9 or 10 games if I can tread water and score 3 touchdowns. The Jets cap situation is their biggest problem. I think they're over the cap, right? Yeah, right now, if the Jets could figure out a way to afford everybody, I think they spent a lot of money last year. Plus, I think they had a lot of first-round picks they had to pay off. Them first-round picks are brutally expensive. And just so we're aware. Because I think they get like $18 million a season. And it's like 100% guaranteed for 4. You can just basically bash your fucking salary up a little bit when you have that situation going on. I mean, it's not. I can't say that they're great, but it's a good word. I guess I could use like they're all right, but like that's what they are. I don't know. The receiving core could be good, but it only kind of feels decent because they don't have a quarterback. Receiving core feels decent because they don't have a good quarterback. They have a good running back. Good, For baseball, yeah, it'll be nice. I kind of can't wait either. Just need a new GM that knows how to manage cap. I don't know. Douglas is all right. He doesn't really understand quarterback. But a lot of other things he seems to have a very good understanding of. But it's just like, do you guys know the legend of Joe Douglas? He has 2 of the greatest fucking draft fumbles I think I've literally ever seen in my entire existence. Now, the first one's not so much on him. What's up, Trey? But he was the talent scout or like the assistant GM. So he's very involved in the draft process. And him and Matt Nagy and everybody and Ryan Pace are trying to pick their quarterback of the future. Because of Joe Douglas, I don't even think they met with Deshaun Watson in Chicago, by the way. They did meet with Mahomes. They met with everybody but fucking Deshaun Watson. They didn't want him whatsoever. And then they wound up drafting Mitchell Trubisky over Mahomes. That was their decision. I've looked into this, and Joe Douglas had a lot to do with that. And then he goes over to the Jets with the number 2 pick, and over Trey Lance, Mac Jones, over Justin Fields. All 3 of those guys would have been far better options than whatever the goddamn hell they wound up with Zach Wilson. Pretty much anybody. Trey, Yeah, I think Douglas was with the Bears and Nagy and Pace at one point. Yep, and he was part of the regime that picked fucking goddamn Trubisky over Watson and Mahomes. And then, of course, now with the Jets, he's done this. He literally cannot pick quarterbacks. It's almost comical how bad he is at it's like Belichick levels of shitty picking receivers. Like, if he wasn't so good at picking everything else, he'd be fired. But, like, he's got 2 possible rookie of the years, so you can't really fire him. You can't. But it's just like, boy, man, how did you pull that off where you just did it twice? I don't know. I don't know. I don't fucking know. This quarterback shit's tough. Meanwhile, but Belichick's no better, by the way. This asshole's really pulled off drafting N'Keal Harry over DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. And both of those guys, it was not we should have just drafted both of them. Like, we could have drafted both of them before we made, or Deebo Samuel. We picked somebody over him. We picked N'Keal Harry because we thought he'd be what DK Metcalf is. Like, damn, that's a big, strong body receiver. So I understand it from a perspective of why the hell can this guy do everything but this one position? It's even more frustrating with Belichick because he can literally just draft any position without really trying. Like, especially like quarterbacks, you can just kind of pick out a pretty good quarterback. It's just like, all right, I guess. Lineman, he just kind of picks like fucking French fries out of a big old bag of fries. It's like, oh, here's a fry. Here's a fry. Corners, whack-a-mole, everywhere on defense. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Did you see Warren Sapp say, oh, the Patriots? Yeah, no. You know how many teams would jump? Like, it would be crazy to watch how many teams would actually jump for Justin Fields on that situation. They'd be like, yeah, we'll take him. Yeah, you mean that guy that if he probably stopped getting fucking killed every 2 seconds, he'd be really good? Yeah, we'll take him in. You know what? I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I guess if Chicago wanted to rebuild the team, but it's like, why didn't you guys do that in the first place? Why didn't you draft some goddamn offensive linemen? There have been some good linemen you passed on to draft up guys like this. What the fuck are you idiots doing? Why'd you trade everything to jump the Patriots just to draft him? It's such a weird thing it would be a really weird thing for them to do, especially just because it's like, it is trade away Fields. And they like jumped over the Patriots to go get him just to trade him away. That shit would be pretty fucking crazy. I'd be mad as fuck about that because I'd be like, well, that was the guy we were supposed to get. Thanks a lot, Chicago, you fucking losers. Like, that's super helpful, Bears. Yeah, probably. D-hop to the Pats? Yeah, maybe. I'd say we're a pretty likely destination, even with the Bill O'Brien situation. You got to think back to when O'Brien was technically like fired from the Houston Texans situation, and they spent like fucking a month trying to get DeAndre Hopkins to talk on the situation, and then they asked DeAndre, then they finally got him to talk about it, and he's like, yeah, I don't wish any ill on Bill. There's no bad blood between us. I hope he has success wherever he gets his next job. And it's like, yeah, but guys, as I've tried to explain and think about it, I'm like, yeah, they probably aren't like buddy, but it's probably a very neutral relation. It's like whatever. Because you got to remember, the shit that he was able to do with Bill O'Brien as a receiver in his offense, he went absolutely insane with B.O.B. as his receiver. Like, you know what I mean? Like him calling plays for DeAndre. And again, as soon as DeAndre demanded a trade, did he not oblige? All right, bye. I mean, it wasn't exactly to where probably DeAndre wanted to go. I'm sure he'd rather have gone to like New England or something to Brady. But, you know what I mean? It's not like he fucking held him against his will or anything in Houston. So I don't know. Again, you could say he traded him to a shitty place, but again, I guess that's not the end of the world. DeAndre was being a fucking dickhead. I think he was trying to get traded. I think that's part of it. I think he was trying to get thrown out of there. Yeah, I think Kyler's a good quarterback, but he's a very small man. So he's kind of, it's like, if the offensive line is garbage, what do you like? How much can you really get done? How good can Kyler be? There's quite a bit of like a few things going on with that situation. when you kind of like break it down and look at it. It's like, how durable can he be? Do the hits kind of start adding up a little quicker because he's what, like 5'9" and like barely 200 pounds if he's 200 pounds. Not even that he's like like a shorter guy. Like, I don't think that's as big a deal because Breeze was kind of small like that. But like, I think he's like physically small. He's kind of like not very big. Like, Breeze looks wide. He looks kind of like a pretty good sized guy, even, you know, for the fact he's like 5'11". It's just like, all right. Kyler looks smaller than he is because there's not a lot of like width to the guy. I think that's another reason. A little bit concerned because it's like that guy needs to put on some like fat and muscle, like a lot of it. D-Hop to the Ravens. Yeah, I think the Ravens, Patriots, and Packers are the top teams to get DeAndre. Yeah, but look at Russell. He's fucking built out. He's a pretty wide guy. He's 5'10", 5'11". What is he, like 210 pounds? Russell's kind of chubby. He's always kind of been chubby. He's got like a weirdly big midsection. Again, most quarterbacks do though. Like Baker Mayfield, he's got like a weirdly big chest. Kyler just doesn't have this weird big chest that a lot of guys have at quarterback. Giants, maybe. I don't think they're gonna do that though, because they're already paying like. They got to deal with the Kenny Golladay situation. I think the Giants are in a situation where they kind of got to draft receivers and hope that they turn out to be good because it's like, oh, we can't afford this. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, man? Welcome. Got to remember, they're on the hook for what, like fucking $70 million more for Kenny Golladay. When the Lions went, oh, fuck that. That's what I would have not signed him. Because the Lions went like, all right, we'd like to re-sign you. And they offered a deal. And then he submitted a counteroffer, and the Lions went, we're no longer interested in the services of Kenny Golladay. Good luck to him. Didn't even try to franchise tag him. Just send him on his merry way. Goodbye. That's when I would have went, uh-oh. He's asking for way too much, and the Lions know the most about this guy. Time to back way the fuck off of Kenny Golladay. And I think that's why the Giants wound up winning, because I think like 3 other teams just kind of went, because the Patriots were very interested in Golladay, and then they weren't. I wonder if they tried negotiating, and he went, yeah, I need to back the Brinks truck up. Like, dude, you played in like 11 games and were hurt in like 8 of them. Yeah, baby, we always playing. And that's basically, he's just been injured ever since. He sprained his wrist signing the contract, and it's just been downhill. Wouldn't that be some shit? Like, you fucking finish signing the contract, and like, you go to leave, and like, you go to like open the door handle, and like, you twist your wrist funny, and it like snap. Like, everybody just hears audible cracking and snapping, and you're like, oh, I think my wrist just snapped into a million pieces. You're just injured for the next 3 years trying to rehab it. Making 110 guaranteed. Like, I can't, it's a tough break, man. I can't play. Contract ends. You're like, oh, good time with everybody. You post like a teary-eyed goodbye on your like social media just to be a cocksucker about it. You're like, I'm gonna miss this place. The fans are like, oh, this guy just basically showed up, broke his wrist, robbed us, and then left. And the worst part would be is if the guy left the city, right? Goes to a new place and then turns back into an all-star almost immediately. Like, God damn it. What the fuck was that? I had my hopes up and everything. I don't know what fan base that would be, but there's a fan base out there where that happens to consistently. I'd call it the Chargers. I feel like that's the Chargers. Does anyone else think that too? You know, Hunter Henry hasn't gotten hurt one. I think Hunter Henry missed one total game as a Patriot so far. Yeah, Kenny Golladay. Yeah, I would imagine he's not very fired up to be a Giant, ready to go, rah rah rah. And I would imagine he's like, fucking, this is stupid. Why? What am I doing? Why did I sign here? They didn't have a quarterback. I should have just stayed in Detroit with Stafford. on to Los Angeles. It's like, yeah, you messed up, Kenny Galladay. I don't know why you didn't just stay in Detroit. But I'm kind of glad that he didn't, because that probably means the Lions would have never drafted St. Brown. But Goff, yeah, Ben Johnson seems to be a real guy, or at least a very good coordinator, quarterback coach. That or the Lions are just absolutely loaded with talent. It's just like, well, I don't even know how they did that. It's almost like the Rams and the Lions switched places in the offseason, or like midway through the year or some shit. I don't even know what exactly happened, but next year is going to be interesting. Imagine the Rams win like 3 games and the Lions go like 13-4 and win a Super Bowl. I'd be like, Jesus, they just kind of body swapped. I have a question for everybody. So we'd all consider Matthew Stafford a very like potential Hall of Famer, right? Like a guy who everybody recognizes like suffered in his career because of his loyalty to the Detroit Lions. I think that's going to be one of those things that gets him in the Hall of Fame, like because he's got his numbers are unreal, by the way, for like considering the situations he was always in. He's like the fastest to like reach a number of milestones in NFL history. If it wasn't for the wild amount of injuries he suffered, he probably has a crazy number of broken records. So I would expect Stafford to be right around the Hall of Fame. Maybe not first or second or third ballot, but he'll probably get in. Especially if he's able to play for another like 3-4 years and really jack the numbers up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like, but he's been very consistent. I mean, he also threw like 50 touchdowns. I mean, so there's going to be a fun debate. If he can fuck around and win a second Super Bowl, he'll slide right in. You got to remember, he was like a boy, like a wonderkin and all kinds of crazy shit with football. So it's whatever. I do think there's a way that doesn't happen, though. And I think it comes from Jared Goff winning a Super Bowl in Detroit. If Jared Goff wins a Super Bowl with the Lions, Matt Stafford will not be let in the Hall of Fame, because that will destroy every bit of legacy that Matthew Stafford built up in the NFL. In my opinion. And Jared Goff would become a first ballot Hall of Famer. Isn't that ironic? I actually do genuinely believe that too. Like that, if those two things, if that happens like this, and Goff fucking wins the Lions Super Bowl, which is very unlikely to happen, but just think about it. It would be you would look at Stafford differently. You'd be like, why couldn't that guy do it? And how come Jared Goff did it? Stafford had to go to a stack team. Goff had to go to a worse team, and then Goff won. It's just a weird thing to think about it. I want to answer politics question. Do you think J.C. Jackson would be good next season? He should be good. He just, I don't know what happened. Like he had like an injury at the start of the year, and he had surgery, and it just never really seemed to get right for him. He should be better next year, JC. Unless he was just another product of a Belichick defense. Rivers and Ryan. Matt Ryan, probably no. Phil Rivers, probably, maybe. I don't know. I think the quarterbacks that played in the Brady Manning era are going to get treated a little different. Because if you're going to hold Super Bowls or no Super Bowls against the guys who participated in the majority of the Peyton and Brady era, it's kind of like, yeah, you can use that standard, and sure, it's pretty fair. But man, that seems awful shitty to do to guys like Phillip Rivers to be like, well, he didn't win any Super Bowls, and it's like, wow, I mean, yeah, JC, yeah, you guys paid him a lot of money. JC's good, but you notice how every single Patriots fan went, "Oh, okay, you can have him for that much." Like if that's what he was after, congrats, JC. We're glad you got the money. That was a wild contract. I don't know why people would pick Patriots safeties and corners like that. I'd be so weary. And again, they're good players. They're all talented, but it's like, man, I don't trust that Belichick defense in the way it spits out corners like a fucking fun machine, like a fun factory. Like fucking Billy, like Belichick is he's fucking Bill Wonka. Fuck. He's the Willy Wonka of corners. I messed that joke up like 7 times and I kept trying. That's called perseverance, folks. What's up, Abe? Yeah, it's like the Steelers and wide receivers. They just turn them cocksuckers out for fun. They're like, look what we found, another one. Then they like shut their eyes and go, we found another one. And it's like, fucking, how do you even do that? How do you just find a wide receiver? Can you teach Bill Belichick how to do that, please? Please? You know what's baffling is the fact that Belichick is the greatest safety and corner finder in probably league history, and this fucking asshole really doesn't understand how, like, what the receiver position is. It's just like, I don't know, the guys who run really fast and make weird moves and catch the ball. I don't know what that is. Bill, you know that position. You literally can, like, in your sleep, pick out the guys who are going to cover them. Don't know. Yeah, if Matt Ryan wins one Super Bowl, he's a sure thing. But I think Matt Stafford actually, or Matt Ryan actually has to win a Super Bowl ring. Because I mean, man, some of them like all I would be able to think about with Matt Ryan is that the fact that they were literally up 28-3. I'm like, man, I don't know how the fuck he lost that game. Like, I get it. Football's not like wins and losses shouldn't be on quarterbacks and all that, but like, I mean, you know, I put them on quarterbacks. I think though, and I've noted, I'm pretty much alone on my full-hearted belief that quarterbacks wins and losses are a quarterback stat, and that's why they're recorded with quarterbacks. But that's a whole weird conversation to get into. If he can rebound, maybe, but you have to have a good whole career. You can't have a weird, shitty part. So no, I mean one or two bad years from Russ is fine, but as long as he rebounds like this year, he should be all right. His like Hall of Fame trajectory career will be back on path. I think anyway. Sadly, Tom's not going to be a Hall of Famer. A little overrated. Somebody was. I remember. I seen this on Twitter earlier. I was like, oh, some guy named Brady sucks 12. I was like, huh, funny. I said that Brady's not a Hall of Famer. Among Us streams, yeah, everybody cheated. That shit was annoying. People would just stream sniping and be like, yeah, well, Rob's the guy. I just have a feeling. I just don't think you can have a bad end of your career. Like, that typically isn't something the Hall looks very fond on. Like, it's all right to kind of crumble out and fade out really bad. If, like, Russ retires and after next season, he just kind of retires, then they won't hold it against him, and I'd imagine he'll sneak in the Hall. But, like, if he plays another 4 years of just dog-awful football like he did last year, that could really hurt him, man. Like that could fuck his chances up. They don't like that, like, for good, like, first 10 years, and then, like, the last 5, you just suck the dick. Well, a third of his career was just terrible. First two chunks were great. Hall of Fame, elite. Yeah, easily. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Two Super Bowl appearances. One of the first scramblers, probably in a very long time, to win a Super Bowl. Beat Peyton. Like, he had a significant win in the Super Bowl too over the Broncos against Peyton Manning and shit. I don't know. I'm sure he threw that pick in that Super Bowl, but it's more coaching. He just did whatever the play the coach called, you know. Even though he probably could have audibled. So I think we found out that Russ really didn't have full audible control while in Seattle. So I don't know, something to think about. I wonder if he regrets having been traded yet. Or do you think Russ is one of them people that don't like live with regrets? He's just like, oh, all things are Jesus-y. You know what I mean? He just like prays in Jesus. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Jesus people do to get powered up by God. I assume it's like that He-Man, right? Where He-Man like sticks his sword up and he goes, I have the power. I'm pretty sure that's what praying does for Christians. And they get charged up to go, you know, fucking harass people who sin. Like, I'm about to go pontificate on everybody. Broncos country. I like how Russ does have like an edgy alter ego that like shoots dice with Future probably. Like Russ will black out and then like he'll just come to like half wasted with like about to get face tattoos and shit, like hanging out with Future and like shooting basketball and shit. He's like, oh, what in the dickens? Honey, help. I blacked out. I turned into Mr. Unlimited. And she's like, oh no, not this corny gay shit again. The worldwide guy invaded again. That'd actually kind of make him cool if he was just a fucking drug addict. And those were his drug egos. And nobody knew about it. He's just hiding the terrible fucking like oxycodone addiction. He's like, they don't even know who Mr. Unlimited is. No, I can't wait for the Tiger Woods-esque level scandal that's going to come out about Russell Wilson at some point. What do we think the odds of something like that popping up are? High or low odds? My man feels way too clean. But also, like, there's clearly something else going on there in the Russell Wilson department. But then again, I don't think Russell Wilson swears, so... I don't know. What kind of title is this? Achilles ankle? Like, I get the Achilles heel, right? It's like whatever. It's like a thing. I don't think making punny jokes in the AFC Championship game about like arguably one of the best players in the league. I don't think that's a good look by NFL.com, really. That feels like a weird title. Oh, nearly broken ankle. Wonder if that is his Achilles heel or ankle. And they're like, oh, that's clever. That's pretty good. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like you need to like sensationalize that or put some jokes in the title. This feels like weird energy. Surprised there isn't like a laugh crying emoji where it's like the emoji sobbing, but it looks like they're laughing. With a couple skulls next to it to indicate that they're of course dead. Oh yeah, they didn't hire that guy. Poor Steve Wilkes. Do you think somebody's gonna hire him? Or do you think he just kind of goes back to being a coordinator? If I'm Wilkes, I'm just gonna go to another team that'll probably fire their coaches. You're back, all right, I'll just take a job on this guy's squad. I'll get hired and I'll be the best interim coach ever. But then again, it seems like nobody ever hires the interim coach as their like permanent head coach, and it always seems like the interim coach will be the right guy. Remember when what was it with the Raiders? Hired that like Rich Bisaccia guy, and Bisaccia won like fucking I think the rest of their games for him that year, and like I think they made the playoffs, and then they immediately fired him for John Gruden. It's like, oh, that seems like a dumb fucking thing to do. Or was it they brought in Bisaccia after Gruden? It's like one of the two, and it was one of the more baffling things I've seen a team do in probably, I don't know. I feel like no teams ever really give their interim head coaching decision like an actual shot to get the job afterward. It's like, well, you did bad. Oh, your team sucked. That was your team. It's a rather unfair assessment of the situation, I would have to argue. It was after. That's what I thought with Bisaccia. I was like, was it right before or right after Gruden? And then it's even worse. They fucking brought in fucking Josh McDaniels. Imagine that's who replaces you as fucking Josh McDaniels. You're like, damn, dude, how did I do that bad? Are we sure that you guys really want to hire that guy? I found out about the Colt. You guys hear that the Colts situation leaked about why McDaniels turned the job down? Because their owner, who has a reputation, a history, whatever word you want to use, of drug addiction, specifically with like snorting things, right? Cocaines and pills. It's whatever, you know, it is what it is. People have their demons, they have their past, they have their presence. That's not what I'm judging the man about. What I think is kind of fucked up was I believe he was at the McDaniels residence, or he had the McDaniels over to meet him and talk to him and everything. Irsay did. And the dude kept running back and forth between the bathroom for long, weird periods of time. And it's like either one of two things were happening. And I doubt him just having to shit a lot was why they wouldn't have wanted to. His wife would have demanded that McDaniels just doesn't take that job. It's either one, he was having crazy shits that night, which is, I mean, it is possible. He's an old ass man. Or two, he was sniffing drugs. And that's probably why the wife didn't want him to go on that team. If my nose is itchy, I'm sorry. As I'm talking about people sniffing drugs, I'm like scratching on my nose really hard. Yeah, I got a drug sniffing problem. Sorry, I have a very fucked up nose in the winter. It gets real dry and fucking clogged up. It's like, it's awful. Is it me or does Bill Belichick makes all shitty players on the Patriots to look like pros just to give them away? Especially on defense, yeah. Our defense kind of big ups players. If you're a really good defensive player and you go to New England, you'll probably win a depoy or come very, very close. If you're just a normal defensive player, you'll look like a fucking Pro Bowler all season. If you follow coaching really well, like a lot of the Patriots players tend to do. which is why Bill likes to draft out of places like Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State for certain positions, because they're typically very coachable guys from those scenarios. I would imagine Georgia is going to be a lot, is going to be drawn on now too by New England a lot. And it's not just because like they're good players. It's literally because the way that they're coached, it works well with Bill Belichick. Russ is really like Wayne Brady in that episode of the Chappelle Show. One sec. Oh, I'll get something. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know. People are just slamming doors around. It's loud. What's up, Aaron Judge? Yeah, Russ is really. Yeah, when Russ isn't on camera, he's like that. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch? It's one of my top. That's one of my favorite episodes. The Chappelle Show is the random like Wayne Brady takeover, and then Chappelle and Wayne are just fucking having the craziest day. Man, that was a great show. Probably shouldn't have been watching that when I was thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know. What else is going on in the world? Have you guys heard that Bieniemy's actually getting? I think that people were trying to interview Bieniemy as an offensive coordinator. Isn't that crazy? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, I heard about Lemanier. I think he killed himself, is what I heard. Very sad situation, potentially. I don't like to swear to anything because it's kind of like a bad thing to do, and especially when you don't really know. But that's what I'd heard. So, how's everybody nights going? Hopefully, pretty good. Anything crazy on anybody's minds? Any big old takes? Sorry about that. My mustache itched. Mustache itched. That's a tough combo of words to try to say. Mustache itched. I think it's the double ch sounds so close to each other. Yeah, fucking. The chat died really hard again. What's on everybody's minds? 2018 in September. So I think since September of 2018. So not too long, not too short, about 5, maybe 6 years. Was 2018, 2019, 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021, 2021 to 2022. And then in September, I guess that would be 5, about the start of 5. Yeah, well, sports in general. Yeah. I don't really have a lot of people in my day-to-day life to talk sports with the way that I'd like to, and as much as I'd like to, and as in depth as I'd like to, right? Because a lot of the people in my life aren't really like that into sports and stuff. So it was much easier for me to just create or try to create a community to do that. And that's why I started doing that. And then when football ended, I was like, oh, I guess we do baseball or play video games, and then we just kind of go from there. But yeah, mainly just because, I didn't really have a ton of people to talk football with. Because again, when you have like a super deep interest in something, and people all around me like football, it's just they don't like, I don't think they get into it as like deeply or as passionately as like I like to get into it. Where I'm watching, fucking Thursday night football games between like the Panthers and the Saints, for example, or something. Where it's like, well, this game sucks. What am I doing? I don't need to watch this. Let's just stop watching it. This is an awful game. But you're like watching for like weird random things, and all right, just making sure. Making sure what? That one of them doesn't turn good over in this game. You never know. So, I don't know, just was the reason anyway. That's why I'm probably not so concerned with this getting any I'd like to see it like the continual growth, and I like to see the good numbers in the streams, because that that just means more people to talk to and chit chat with. But ultimately, probably why I have no real qualms or like anxieties about the channel not getting as big and as large as I'd like it to get. Because I don't really have any like any what's the word, expectations for size of this thing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. We got all the way up to, if we get to 10,000, that's pretty much a win for me. I'm like, all right, I didn't expect that. I played Michigan. Always just kind of been interested in football. I think my family all likes it. They all watched it, but then I really got into it. I think what happened is like I picked my first game I pretty much watched was the Patriots versus the Panthers, and I don't know how lucky I got by the first like full game I watched happened to be the Super Bowl, and that happened to just be like a really excellent game by the Patriots, and I became a fan of them after that game, and haven't really looked back. And I think like becoming a fan of the Patriots and all that crazy shit I immediately seen as a Patriots fan kind of just married me to the game, to be honest with you. Like for example, my first year watching football, my team wins a Super Bowl, and then we win another Super Bowl, and then 2 years later we go undefeated. It's just like, all right, this is going to be sweet. So I didn't really have a rough introduction to football. I literally jumped headfirst into a dynasty, sat out for a couple, and then as I was in college, we won more Super Bowls. I was like, fuck yeah. So so it turned out as a very lucky pick, and I think that lucky pick of my team I liked had kind of propelled me into like a weird lifelong fandom that might not have happened if I was just a Lions guy. If that makes sense. I played until I broke my back, and then I couldn't play sports like that anymore. I can't really get hurt. Talking all this crazy shit I do, and I could get punched in the back. And I could be took out by like a 13-year-old probably. If like a very strong like middle schooler punched me in the back, I'd probably be done for. I'd be like, oh fuck, and they'd take me out for weeks. It's a pretty embarrassing, defeatable prospect. Have I been to many NFL? I've never gone, and I don't think I'd like to go. Like here's how I think about football games. I'd have to be sitting high up in a spot where I'd be able to see the goddamn jumbotron very clearly, and also the field very clearly. Because I've been to a good amount of college football games. And even there, if you don't have a good vantage point, it's really hard to see anything. It's like, God damn, this is a crazy angle. The speeds are always like it's all way faster. Like if you're like sitting close, it's hard to see like 30 yards down the goddamn field. It's just like, the fuck is going on down there? So that's kind of annoying. So you gotta like look up, and if that's not there, or if you're like too close, it's like, all right, this is good. You know what I mean? Like there's just this weird, unless if you're sitting far away, it's also like hard to kind of see what's going on clearly. It's just like, I'd rather just watch the games like at my place or at people's places. I'm excited about the Pro Bowl this year. Not a ton of people have dropped out, it looks like. It looks like people are pretty excited about the flag football game. I don't know. You guys got to admit, that sounds like a pretty enticing reason to watch the Pro Bowl for the first time in quite a while. Is the fact that there is going to 100% be a, we got like dodgeballs and shit. We got a fucking flag football game going down. All kinds of skills competitions. Should be better than it has been in years past. I don't know. Hopefully, a bunch of guys don't turn it down this year. I understand the Super Bowl teams doing it and like injured players doing it. But you know, went to Panthers Bucks this year. First game was hella nice. Sat way too high. Only bitch were with the long ramps to go back and forth. You got to walk. Oh yeah, I would imagine that. Yeah, that's the problem with sitting too high up. See, that's what I mean. Like, there's like a weird there's got to be like some weird middle ground at like where to sit and where not to sit. Because I couldn't tell you where that is. But there is certainly a very odd middle ground somewhere there. Where it's like you're too close, but then you're too far away. It's like it's on that same, it's like a thin vein of like, Yeah, and I guarantee the perfect seats, like far back enough to where it doesn't matter, and like all of that other stuff, it's like those are probably just as expensive as field side tickets. It's just like, damn it, because you know they know where the optimal seat is, so you know that specific set of like 4 seats is gonna be like twice the amount of everything else around it. It's like, oh, bitch ass NFL. And if they don't, they're stupid bitches and they don't know how to seat right. Like if I charge for certain sections at a movie theater, right? I would charge more for the back middle. Like, you want to buy a $17 ticket. That gives you access to one of the 4 back middle seats. Like, oh. I think that's how they should do movie tickets, by the way. Tier them bitches up. You don't really care and you're just unhinged, you can get a $5 ticket to sit in the front row. The front row? What do you mean? Like the... All right, IMAX. Oh. You guys ever done that? Go to an IMAX movie and sit as close as possible? Leave with the worst headache and fucking, like, of your life? Pretty sure you give yourself a little bit of cancer that way. Not a whole lot, just like 1%. We just happened to walk out at one of the end zone before the game and got to see Brady warming up. Got some great videos. We were right there. That's pretty dope. I'd have been like, Tom, fuck the Panthers. I didn't use that. My mom died of cancer last February. In the February, I'd been like, my mom just died. Will you sign something? And it still would have been the same year, so I wouldn't have felt bad about doing it. Yeah, I don't think they care before the game. It's just like as soon as people start I think it's like 30 minutes before kickoff, they want you away from other people's seats. Get the fuck to where you're sitting. Because I think that's when, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Probably like more higher risk clientele or personnel who attend games, like more famous people start coming in certain seats. The Tuck game. Was it really that bad of a thing? Like, let's be honest. Like, Raiders fans act like that was like the worst call in league history. Was it? Like, dog, that ball might even not be called a fucking fumble today. I know everyone's like, it would be. It's like, I don't know. His arm was kind of going forward. Like, at that time, like, that was literally the rules. Like, how could something that was the way it's supposed to be called the way it's supposed to be called, the worst thing that they could have ever had? Like, you guys just played in the last Super Bowl. It's not anybody's fault that you blew the Super Bowl the year before. Why you blame it? Or what was it? You guys blew the next year's Super Bowl? You had another shot. Ball don't lie. You guys lost that game for real against us. You guys went. Tell me I'm wrong. Did you not go to the next year's Super Bowl and then lose very badly to the Raiders? Or to Tampa Bay? Or not very badly, but you lost to Tampa. I know, but there's far worse situations. Like, they actually called that a catch by David Tyree. In 2022, that's not a catch. All right, so. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Tuck rule's a weird one because I don't think today that's ruled a fumble. I'm pretty sure by today's way they rule it. But I don't think I think that my problem with that has always been like, I think back then that's just not what a fumble was. Like, I wasn't literally watching football. I don't think during the Tuck rule game. So my knowledge of what the way that the rule worked, but like from what I've gathered and learned about that was kind of just what they kind of protected quarterbacks with that one. I don't know what to tell you. The strip sacks were really, it seems like strip sacks used to be way harder to pull off back in the old NFL. Unless it was like one of them situations where you just caught him completely flat-footed and bum rushed the ball out of him. It seems like, you know what I mean? Like the simple act of strip sacking has become a lot easier because now it's like this isn't considered a forward pass when it used to be. Like, if you were up here and just going like this, it was always a forward. Now it's like you got to be like way up over here, and like the ball's got to be kind of like coming out of your hand already for it to be not a strip sack. Whereas before, or you know, it was literally, I think, like if you were up here with it, they were like, that's an incomplete pass. Come on, what are we doing here? What are these men supposed to be, Supermen, and get the ball out with unparalleled quickness? Quarterbacks used to have to do the bare goddamn minimum. No, I had the ball up at my ear, so it's not a fumble. So, find it to be pretty crazy. They are denying Dan Campbell a Coach of the Year nomination. In the snow, we hadn't tasted the Super Bowl in so long. It was crazy. It was just one of those moments in your life you'll always remember where you were at. Yeah, that's fair enough. A lot of people hated the Tuck rule game. And a lot of people cited it as one of the worst calls ever. So I'm like, all right, it's whatever. That's fine. I've seen much worse. I literally watched that Saints and Rams game. I watched the touchdown interception thing. I've watched the Desno cut. It's like I've watched some really bad calls. I don't know if that's the fucking worst one. Again, I guess if you're a Raiders fan, though, I mean, it literally might not. It arguably isn't much worse than that. So, could always stand. I always kind of feel like I stand corrected at some like point. I don't know. What do you guys I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, it's just the wind whipping the snow up against the window. I was like, what the fuck is going on out the window? And then demon shit is that? There's like a large number of people that are listening and just not saying anything. What are some of the silent people up to? What do you guys there's at least 7 other people here who aren't saying anything. What are you, the quiet folk, thinking about? You guys think about like I don't know. It's a cool thing to you. It's always tense when I'm trying to talk to the fake people. Or not fake people. I don't know what to... Sorry about that. I didn't mean to call you fake. I don't know what to consider the people who aren't saying anything. Potential robots. Figments of my imagination. Could be a number of things, really. No, I agree, Too Deep. I typically don't say anything in streams either, so I'm just messing around with them right now. Just having a little bit of fun. They never have to reply. They never will, the people who are listening, and I appreciate that. I find their consistent characterization as an antagonist in this live stream as one of my favorite developments, and it's always going to be a funny one. If you're ever in the group of people that just aren't talking, you know you're winning this battle. You're like, man, we're getting to him. It's probably one of the more successful troll ops that you could possibly participate in unintentionally. I don't know why the trolls didn't think of this as a maneuver. Like, wait a minute. We could just fill his goddamn stream up and not say anything and he loses focus completely on this. That is hilarious. And I don't know why they haven't tried it yet. Because I genuinely have trouble coping with that. I'm like, why does anyone say anything? Am I not talking about anything entertaining? Or am I being so entertaining they're afraid to say anything? I'm like, nah, that's weird. That's a weird thought to have. I am like, you know, semi-powerful. So I have a question. If you were to... I was thinking about this today for about 7 hours. For most of the time, this is the kind of stuff I think about. It's have you ever thought, like, if you were to like have your like do some cool shit in your life one day and have a movie made about your life, have you ever thought like, damn, this is who I'd want to play me? I figured out who'd have to play me. I have a very limited cast of people who could play me. There's Braun Strowman from the WWE, who I look very much like. We're very similar sized guys. The Mountain Thor Bjornsson from the Game of Thrones. I'm a little bit bigger than him, so it'd be kind of awkward. The Liver King could easily, you know, be a small version of me. And then I guess like Brock Lesnar could play the Kid Me. That's probably fair. I'm a little bigger than those guys, but you know, it doesn't have to be exact in Hollywood. I'll never approve it, by the way. You just have to take my word. I'm jacked the shit underneath these 4 coats that I wear. I only wear the coats for extra training, not because I'm cold and I don't have body fat. So I gotta insulate with layers and not, you know, be a normal human who just has a good amount of body fat. Yeah, they can CGI, you know, like I look like the Hulk, more or less. Like once Mark Ruffalo learned how to just live as the Hulk full time, that's kind of what I look like. On a bad day, on like a non-swole day. So like it'd be tough, but when we get there, we get there. I'm so buff I have to walk sideways through doors. That way I don't bust them up. It's not like it's just tough being a beefcake. God damn it, dude. I wish I didn't misspeak ever. I'd be a lot funnier if I never like stumbled over the words that I was trying to come up with. Buffcake isn't funny at all. Beefcake is hilarious. Creative English, creative writing, you know, very relevant, very important. You know, I can write really good and read extremely well. Part of the reason why I fuck up all the time is because I'm always trying to like push words down a little bit and not use like the wrong words where it's like I have no idea what he just said. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I shouldn't do that here. Because I talk in two different ways. I code switch from cool to fucking nerd. There's two Robs. There's one that speaks in a whole different fucking lexicon than this one. But I also have to use really crazy words because that's how I replace the swearing. Sometimes the swears just pop out as like a lag feature. It's like if you were playing a video game and like, you know how you get lag? And it's just like that's how my brain operates to filter stuff. Or I'll like extend the end of words so that way I don't just like kind of just sound stupid and swear all the time or say a lot. So I'll just be like, and then so I can like scale back words. And it's a horrible thing. I hate that I have to do that because it's like, man, these words are so much better. But I'd sound like the biggest loser if I was to do that all the time. You know what I mean? I've been in school for too long. That's the simple solution to why I talk like that. So I'm like, fuck, man. Fuck. And then I'm like, you know what I need to do? I need to go get a doctorate. Might as well. We've come this far. And then once I get that, I'm pretty sure I'm all done. I'm like, all right, I'm done with school. I've gone as far as you can go. I guess I'll become a professor. Mainly, I think that's what I want to do with the degree I'm getting. That or become a speechwriter. I could do both. I don't know. I could write in TV, write in the entertainment field, and just kind of broadcast as well. A little bit of both. I've thought more about a broadcasting career, but the problem with broadcasting is, you know what I mean? I feel like I'd get fired pretty quick. Because at some point, I'd flip over to like some non-give-a-shit version of what I'm doing, and it'd be like, oh, holy fuck. Oh, whoops-a-daisy, we're on the FCC air. Please dump that, and if it wasn't, it'd be a whole nightmare. It would just be weird, long blank periods on everything I'm... just like a speechwriter, I don't know. They make a lot of money, like being a ghostwriter. And I'm pretty good at writing, so I have a good voice. That's how I got into writing anyway, was speeches. Like, I had to take a communications class as one of my undergrad things, and one of the classes was speech, like advanced speech writing. So I was like, I'll try that. That sounds like a fun class. So I went in there and we had to write like persuasive essay or like persuasive speeches, like, and stuff like that. And I was extremely good at this, and I'd never written anything before, like nothing serious like that or creative. And I was beating people's. I was very good at this, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's my talent. I didn't know I could write. Curriculum writing? Like, are you talking about like pedagogy? Like actual course material? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to do any of that. I don't want to go to high school. If I was to teach, it'd be a professor level. Yeah, I'm all good. No, I just, or a very private high school, where I don't have to have a fucking teaching certificate. I'd prefer to just go be a professor, man. I don't want to deal with all that. Mainly just because I don't feel like getting shot, so I'm not gonna go to a fucking American high school and teach. no thanks. Or get beat up by some kid in a bad mood and I can't fight him back without going to jail. Because, like, if some college person tries to fight me, I'll end that 18-year-old. I don't give a fuck. What's he going to do? I got man strength. He don't. And if he does, I got pepper spray. Who's the bitch now, motherfucker? Poetry. I don't really fuck with music in a serious way. A lot of music, you gotta like write with like meter and shit so it sounds good. There's a very specific way, like I could point out like something that Taylor Swift does and a lot of pop music does that has a very specific like da 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 da, and it's like they follow like I think it's like a tercet pentameter, so it's like this weird fucking stressed unstressed stressed unstressed, or it's like something like that, and they like do 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 do, and it's like that throughout a whole pop song. And that's you can kind of just go through and scan a Taylor Swift song, and that's basically all it is stressed unstressed stressed unstressed stressed unstressed, and it's just fill in the words. A lot of ghostwriting in the music industry. Yeah, a lot of people like me pop up and go become fucking songwriters, make a lot of money. And by the way, if you want to learn a little secret about ghostwriting in the music industry, so say you write a song for somebody and they go perform it. One of the crazy things is you are probably going to make the most money on that. Oh, the stream's dying. No, I would say it doesn't just happen. I would say 90% of the money is made by the person who, like, of the money on the song. I would say most of it goes to whoever wrote the lyrics. And that's a very fun thing to go find out. The songwriters get the biggest chunk of the pie. Then the composer, and then it kind of follows forward after that. So it goes like lyrics, music, and then the performer usually. Beat Roman Reigns, yeah, so he's not the champion anymore. That'd be helpful for that shit. Kind of sucks Vince took back over right when things were getting cool. Lame. Everybody fucking was good now. It's just ruined. Is that all you've been thinking about, though, Kev? He's like, man, can't wait for somebody to beat Roman. Have a happy night. Too deep. Have a good night. Have a good night. Take it easy, my friend. Take her easy. Oh. If you're looking for somewhere to hang, we'll be live tomorrow with the preview stream as always. So, any UFC watchers here? UFC, you know, the beat people up game or whatever the fuck that is. What up, Amir? I seen your stream. It was bumping earlier. There's no point in talking. I was just like, damn. Oh, it was 72 people when I was in there. It was crazy. I don't mind Roman as champ, but I mean, he's been champ for like 2 years straight now. It's time for a new WWE champ. You watch UFC? Did you see what happened to Conor today? Got to 110. Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. I gotta start pretending like I care about basketball. Hey, congrats, man. I was gonna say, you were like at like 4 subs away the last time I looked, so congrats, man. Hell yeah. He got hit by a car, and the guy gave him a ride home. I think everybody's all right. The video, they both look completely flabbergasted about the situation. Like, Conor just looks relieved to be alive. Not even like that angry. He just kind of seems whatever about it. This guy looks like he's about to cry the entire time. It's the weirdest video. It's a weird energy in the video. Oh, I think he's perfectly fine. I think it was just like a weird low. I think the bike got kind of messed up. But I think generally Conor's all right. I was like, dude, I hope he's not seriously hurt. He's supposed to fight again soon. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Conor like due to have a match pretty soon? Or like return from that terrible broken what was that, like a broken whole body? What happened to his leg? Did it just snap in half? I remember he came out. He was he's like walking in a cage. He's had to fight. You know, he's fighting around. They're fighting. You know, smacking each other up, and then his leg just breaks. Right? It just. Yeah, so I mean, like, it just kind of like, just like he like stepped on it and he like fucking shattered. It's like, oh. Or did he get hit in it? Because if he got hit in it, that literally eliminates one of my biggest fears. Because I've been walking different ever since then. Let me tell you, I'm like, oh man, what if I take a bad step and my leg just, oh, it just wore him out. Okay, whew. You know, I've been going around thinking like my leg could one day just snap from walking. I'm like, man, my legs are good and strong, so I don't think I gotta worry about that. But like, my legs aren't as strong as they might be a little stronger. I am twice the size of him. You know, Connor's only like 5'9". I'm like 6 foot, 7 foot. Really? Oh no. Zeke's dad's like, Zeke, you do not take no pay cut. Not in the Elliott household. Do you not like MMA, stud? You're good, Ben. You're fine. Bring up whatever you want to talk about. We're just kind of bullshitting around. As you can tell, it's a very serious conversation we're having. Yeah, same here, Amir. Mainly just because it'd be funnier. Yeah, the best UFC fighter right now, though, is probably Sugar Sean O'Malley, but they don't know. People don't know that yet. Well, actually, it's probably John. I don't know enough about UFC to make those claims. I'm going to retract that statement. Islam Meshev. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I can make that claim. I don't think we can do that. I don't feel comfortable at all being like, this guy's the GOAT. I know nothing about the sport. I'm just going to say John Jones is the best. And just move on from there. And be like, well, prove he's not. And that's all. Like, dude, he doesn't fight. He's always suspended for cheating. Fair. Didn't Islam just lose a big fight? Yeah, exactly. I'm all for the double champ. What do I think the young QBs are gonna make? Okay, so like with Daniel Jones, no, the Islam. Okay, that was somebody else. That guy. Oh, was it Israel? Right, that got knocked out. The guy I'm thinking of that was like another Khabib guy that got knocked the hell out. Yeah, Daniel Jones. I'm guessing anywhere from 25 to 30 is what he's going to be offered, and 30 at the high end. And I mean, for 3-4 years, that's fine. If I'm a Giants fan, I'm completely fine with that. By the way, that's a different guy. That's what I thought of. See what I mean? I don't follow it too close. Yeah, Adesanya or whatever. Yeah, if Jones gets 30 mil, yeah, not 40 or 35. Even 35 would be kind of an overpay almost. It's like, oh man, that's not good. If the Giants are smart, you know what they do? They offer him 3 years at about 80 million, right? And fully guarantee it. 4 years at 80 million, fully guarantee it. Dude, you can get away with a fucking killing on that contract. Just whatever you give him, fully guarantee it and lowball it. That's what teams do with Kirk Cousins, and they trick his ass every time into it. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll get away with paying Kirk 28 million this year. Here you go, Kirk. You fucking retard. And Kirk's like, excellent, I got my 28 million guaranteed. It's just like, it's a hilarious situation, pearls or bust. Yeah, I don't know what the hell Herbert Jones wants a huge contract. That's insanity. I'd tell him no. I'd be like, listen, Daniel, go fuck yourself. You're not getting a big contract. Hey, listen, buddy, we love you. No. There are 0 teams that would pay you that. Go ahead, test the open market, you fucking dipshit. I mean, dude, it's like, go ahead and test the open market, dumbass, if you really think you can get more than 30 million. That's what I tell him. I'll be like, and if you can't, come back and we'll give you 25. Because that's what we'll have waiting for you. Maybe 20. If you want to play these fucking games with your one good season. Yeah, he signs for the Redskins for fucking 40 million. I'd be like, oh, that's hilarious. That'd be best case scenario for the Giants fans. Yeah, but Herbert and Burrow. Burrow is probably going to get a Mahomes like contract, especially if Burrow pulls off a Super Bowl this year. I can't imagine, because they said they're going to get him done this year, right? If I recall, that was the Bengals like ownership group basically put out like, our number one priority is extending Joe Burrow this offseason. It's like his contract thing, till next offseason. But I think this is the year he's eligible. And on what planet do you think they not like? How do you not re-sign Burrow? That's basically probably their number one question in the franchise. It's like, all right, so. We have this guy. Hey, by the way, thank you for the 20 likes, everybody. We hit the like goal, even though there really isn't a like goal for the non-like reaction streams. Yeah, there's no way he leaves, and I'm guessing he's probably going to get one of them 10-year, like almost probably the same verbiage as Mahomes' contract. Like that weird 10 years, 500 million, maybe 600, with like backloaded when $60 million contracts aren't that crazy. Right away, right about, unless Burrow takes a very team friendly deal and fully guarantees like a $230 million contract. Because again, Mahomes doesn't have any guaranteed, like barely. I think he's already maxed out his guaranteed money in that contract. It's all like push aroundable. But there is 1 year where Mahomes is going to make like fucking like $70 million at this point. He has one of the craziest years ever coming up pretty soon. Contract. I think it's 2025, Mahomes' big year. The year that they keep like inflating because they keep pushing off his contract money. They're like, we'll just push it back. We'll just push it back. We'll just push it back. It's like, yeah, that's what that contract allows you to do. But at some point in the future, that will be due. And boy, that's going to be quite the bill for Mahomes. Or it'll be dead cap 1 year. And they're just not going to have like $85 million to spend. But hey, I guess that's what they see as a good idea. Saves you some money, lets you try to keep a dynasty going. And again, that's why they like designed that contract like that, was so they could fucking push around Mahomes' money for the rest of his career and just give him more bonus, fucking throw a few million at him to take less money. It's just like, all right, Mahomes, we'll give you $8 million in your bonus, and we'll just take that away. It's just like, okay. I'm sure it's a big bummer to get some of your fucking money early. It's just like, all right, for sure, stud. I probably won't be around for too much longer. I'll probably do like another half hour. Try and jack the views up with something a little bit. I think we're at like 200 or almost 100. Pretty crazy. Pretty radical stream. For the way it started, though, this is actually doing pretty good tonight. I'm pretty happy. It sure didn't start off the first like 13 minutes. Boy, it was a ghost town. It was scary. You guys ever hear the story of when bad meets evil? Classic song by Eminem and Royce da 5'9". What's up, Snoozy? Is this your raid? It's wild we getting these MLB like contracts. Yeah, especially for quarterbacks. It's pretty crazy. I wonder how high this is going to go this offseason. I wonder if anybody goes near Deshaun's contract, or is it kind of just like an outlier to the more norm of what the contracts will be. We shall see. Very interesting. Then, are you like, oh yeah, you guys have fucking, what's his name? I'm gonna say, what are you guys gonna do at quarterback if Aaron does leave, huh? You guys are fucked. And it's like, oh wait a minute, they literally have, the only reason they're doing this with Aaron is because they have another guy that they could maybe play. Love. Yeah, I mean, it won't be too bad. Yeah, just see what you have for the future. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Packers are going to do. I'm so confused about that situation. I haven't had my moment of clarity with what everything's going to happen yet. You know what I mean? Like, remember last year when I had my moment of clarity on the Packers and I dissected every single, other than them losing Devontae Adams, because that was crazy. I predicted everything that was going to happen with that team last year in terms of like the Aaron Rodgers stuff. I was like one of like 5. I had to be the only person I knew of that had that opinion where it's like, yeah, if he's either leaving, the only way he leaves is retirement last year. And I wound up being correct in that assessment. This year, I got no fucking idea. It feels like he's leaving. And it never felt like he was leaving last year. It always felt to me like, yeah, nah, he's coming back. This year, I don't know. It's just some of the way it's not just like the way Rodgers is moving on things, right? Because if you were to just listen to Rodgers, it would sound like he's not leaving. But it's like just kind of looking at some of the rumors around the team. Again, do we believe Rodgers? Do we believe the rumors around the team? What's more credible? Is Rodgers even a credible source of information about himself, or should we not trust him because he's kind of been a misleader in the past? So it's kind of like I don't really know which situation to follow, because it's like I don't really trust sources because those are usually fucking wrong. But the guy himself is openly says he says wrong shit to the media and to people all the time. So it's like, so what? The fuck are we supposed to believe about this guy? Remember, I think about the COVID stuff. He's like, oh yeah, I was worst case scenario. Yeah, you could get, that's what Kenny wants. He wants you guys to suck so you can get a Caleb Williams from USC. Kenny sees the plan. He's living in 2024. Sounds like Kenny's all for Caleb Williams. It sounds like he's preying on the Packers' downfall. He's gonna be coming in here going, boo, Packers lose. Yeah, Kenny's like, yeah, I want us to go 0-17 if that means Caleb Williams. Yes. Kenny's like, I'm a real fan. I don't want to win another game till we have Caleb motherfucking Williams on that team. Just get rid of both and draft Drake May or fucking Caleb next year. have Matt LaFleur's brother come and play quarterback. Or wait, is that the brother? Have LaFleur's brother come play quarterback. Answer me this: how can the cost of living athletes' money? Well, TB. That's a very complicated question. Mainly because a lot of the reason that prices of things going up shouldn't probably be going on. Because it's just like, I don't know, the inflation, the price of cost living going up. It's like a lot of record profits happening, right? Across the board for a lot of these wealthy billionaire companies. Like if you go look at their record profits, it's insane. All of these companies. And they're all owned by the billionaires that pay these people's salaries. So they can pay them more because they're making more money. TV deals have become very, very, very lucrative. So it's like you'll see like mega corporations from like You know, fucking Disney paying off these athletes, technically paying contracts. Like, Disney owns ESPN, so like through ESPN, the players get a bunch of money because they sign a deal to do Monday Night Football. So ESPN/ABC have to pay these guys a fuckload of money every year that the owners can get to pay the players more, which increases the salary cap, which increases the amount the players can get played. So basically, it's like a weird thing. Is like these companies become wealthier and wealthier for whatever somehow, you know. I don't know. The athletes get better. I think it's the athletes also getting better as well at the game, so it becomes more watchable and more entertaining, more sellable to the big advertisers. More people want it on TV. So you'll see megacorps like Amazon and NBC and CBS and Fox fighting for games, fighting for rights coverages. YouTube's fighting for right coverages. So you see like tens of billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars just being thrown at the NFL for 10-year contracts to play their shit on TV. So all these owners are getting this money. It's like they're splitting it up 32 ways for the most part, and just it goes do, and that means the salary cap goes up. Everybody makes a little bit more money. It's really fucking wild. Like every little bit of money that they get like from outside of the league just goes back into those fucking owners' pockets, and then they turn around and pay their players. The good ones do. Non-retarded owners do. Because they've learned that the more money you do spend and put back in your team, the more money it'll generate for you because of success. Like nobody wants to buy merchandise of a shitty football team. It's just like, unless you need some new gear. Like Bailey Zappi at one point, like for example, the Patriots have become such a good, crazy brand, and they're so like marketable and shit like that, and sellable. Like Bailey Zappi at one point this year was a top 10 jersey seller in the NFL. It's crazy. Same highest companies don't pay the increase to their actual blue collar employees. Yeah, I agree. TV, I agree. It's awful. That's why I'm very far left. Yeah, they're very greedy people, and they want to keep all the money for themselves, so that's why they don't want to increase the pay raises. The NFL players make them a lot of money, so they don't mind giving them a lot of money. They make billions off these boys, so they don't care. They'll be like, all right, we can throw you millions. You know. It's a racket, I tell you. My favorite thing is I think someone around here is yelling. It's like, oh, you're good. You're fine, man. It's not a big deal. I don't know. What else we got going on in the wide world of football? But you dropped that take and it was wild then? Sorry to hear. I know you said you kind of... It's just weird that Packers fans have such a problem with the idea of the Jets. It's like, what, do you guys not want Aaron? Like, what the fuck is this? Nobody want Aaron again? What happened? I feel like this happens every offseason where every team's like, oh, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Ugh. It's just like... What happened? This is 2019 all over again. Nobody wants Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's making fun of the Packers for having Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, boy, his grace windows does not stay open for too long. He goes like, he's the best. Fuck him now. One bad season from Aaron, get him out of this league. He's done. He's washed up. Fucking has been hack. It's like, Jesus Christ. There is this weird attitude about the guy, though. I mean, if you're a Packers fan, I can understand it. You just don't want to go through this shit again with the fucking another quarterback. It's like, listen, dude, Aaron, you took over from a guy who was doing this. You can't do this. None of this pondering retirement. Will they, won't they play? Like, can you not do this, Aaron? You know what you took over from. Please fucking, are you staying or are you going? Make your decision up. My Friday was good. How was your day, Amir? Well, like, no, I mean, like, with Packers fans, it's a little, I don't know, Peyton was gone. Brady, yeah, he kind of retired, but I have a whole different reading on that situation. I think he retired to try to save his marriage. The marriage fell apart anyway, and then he's like, all right, I'm going back to football then. Fuck all this. Uh, 49ers Bengals is the one I'd like to see. I don't know. None of the matchups really like fucking, I don't know. It's just like this weird thing where I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good Super Bowl, but I also really don't give a fuck. Just Magic held on to the late lead. Oh, they lost. Ah, that's rough. Nice. 49ers and Chiefs. I want. And 49ers to win. Yeah, I'd like to see the, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent out of the 49ers Bengals. I'm fine with either team winning. I think that'd be a new team winning finally again, which is always nice. I just hear a siren. So I'm like, ooh, someone's in trouble. I want you, well, someone just kicks my door on it. Put your hands up, like, get the fuck out. Like, oh shit, I guess I'm in trouble, guys. Goodbye. And you just see me like pretend like I'm holding the gun. I'm like, you'll never take me alive. Like, damn, that was intense. I just want the narrative that Mahomes can't bro to die, but so that far. That Mahomes can't beat Burrow. Yep. I was like, I had to find the missing word here really fast, Amir, and fill it in there, but I think I figured out which word it was. Yeah, I got it. I had to like do a quick context clue. Yeah. I would like to see that narrative die as well, mainly because I'd actually like to see this be a rivalry thing. Where like it's like, oh, okay, this is a real rivalry happening, not just one guy always beats the other guy. Because that would be, I don't know, that'd be kind of fucking boring. Not gonna lie. Very anticlimactic, a bummer. Just use a completely different word than the one I was trying to use. Big, that'd be a bummer. What word were you trying to use there? Fucking Shakespeare. One I can't pronounce really that well. Like asterisks. Don't know how to fucking say that word. Asterisk? Asterisks? Whenever you, I don't know. It's one of the two words. Yeah, there's a weird amount of words I just can't pronounce, and I'm not certain as to why that is. Just like my brain just goes, and I try to say those words. Bengals 26-20. I like the under, and I think field goals. Yeah, field goals will be big in that one. I agree. It helps the Jeremy and Rob agenda. Yeah, especially my agenda, where I've been trying to explain to people that Mahomes isn't as good as you think he is, but also that Joe Burrow is cool and one of the best Brady-esque young quarterbacks in the league. My favorite quarterback is Michael McCorkle Jones, preceded by Tom Brady. So 1, Brady, 2, Jones. Until Jones shows me he's not the guy, I'm a big Mac Jones guy. I like the dirty play. You got to understand. You know what's weird, Amir? You know how I've always kind of praised dirty play and aggressive overplaying and like cheap football and cheating? Isn't it weird that people come at me and go, how do you feel about Mac Jones being a dirty player? I couldn't be more goddamn proud. Do you not know who you're like? Do you know Mac Jones is a dirty player? I'm happy he is, but I actually don't think he's a dirty player. He does some dirty shit, but like, literally, they're like, do you feel it's wrong that he does bad things? No, I don't care that anybody doesn't. As long as you're not like viciously trying to hurt somebody, I genuinely don't give a fuck. Like helmet to helmet stuff and like hitting someone in the head, I actually do draw a line. Grab a quarterback grabbing at fucking a 270-pound linebacker's legs is never going to get hurt from what Jones is doing. No, I know, Amir. I know. I know. I was just fucking around about the Brady comparisons. Do you have any idea why the Chiefs have yet to beat the Bengals? Like the Chiefs have everyone else figured out but them. You know what I think it is? I think somebody pointed out it was Cheeto or Distracted. He brought up a really good graphic out of nowhere. Where the hell is that? And it's the thing that it seems like it's what a number of teams do very well. The Colts do this against him, I think, and I think the Patriots try to do it, but sometimes they go a little retarded. And I think we introduced the way to do this, and very few teams copy this for some reason. Where is this? Here we go. Is this open in the screen here? Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay. That was way too close. Scared the hell out of me. Sorry about that if I yelled too loudly. That scared the shit out of me. Whew. Hold on a minute. That was a jump scare. I clicked right back onto one of my screens and his face was right there. My adrenaline is pumping right now. I'm like, who put this scary monster on my fucking screen? Oh, it's just Mahomes. He's smiling at me. He's a very aggressively ugly man in that picture right there. I know I ain't no prize, but I'm not like fucking putting my face out there like that. I'm hiding behind a microphone. I'm wearing a fucking hat. I got a big beard. I'm trying to obscure it as best as possible. This guy is in your face about it. He's like, hey, look at me. You gonna call me ugly? Yeah, I am, Mahomes. You're an ugly man. You're lucky you got an ugly wife, and your kids will probably be cute because of it. Because, oh boy, if one of you were good looking, that's a terrible family. At least you're both like sixes. You're in the six club with me. Anyway, this is Mahomes versus the Burrow, or Mahomes versus the Burrow. Versus the Bengals. Not much different. You could say Mahomes versus the Burrows, and it's pretty much correct. You're only like just a little bit weird energy. Last year in the AFC Championship game, he went 7-14 versus the three-man rush versus the Bengals for 72 yards, a pick, and he was sacked 4 times versus the three-man rush. In 2012, Week 13, the Bengals also utilized the similar thing at least 5 times, going 1 for 4, 6 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he was sacked once. So I think this is one of the reasons the Bengals seem to do very well against Mahomes. I don't know if he does well when you rush 3 and drop everybody else back into coverage. One of the things the Patriots have always done is drop 7 to 8 guys back into coverage to play Mahomes. And there are times where we just have a spy and 1 or 2 guys rushing him. Because again, it's probably better to just let him sit back there and force him to like maybe force a bad throw. Because again, his arm, right, is elite. It's really good, and it will tend, if he's given time to throw, you might force an overthrow, which could lead to a pick. You could force a bad throw. You could force like something incomplete. You could force an overthrow because he's trying to shoot it downfield to get somebody open. It's just keep him kind of contained, and like again, he's very dangerous from the pocket. But again, the 2-3-man rush. This is why he also does good from the pocket. A lot of teams try to do this, but like, you just kind of got to like be very good about pressure. And teams that aren't, the Bengals are, the Patriots are, the Colts are, if you can get the right pressure, he becomes very neutralized. And it's very specific how to do it because he has not figured out how to beat 8 guys dropping back into coverage against him. And by the way, I don't think any quarterback on the face of this planet could look at a 7 or 8 man drop back and go, oh, I got this. It's just like, oh yeah, every single play they're covering 8 of my receivers. They have 8 fucking defensive backs on the play. Oh, fuck. Kelsey, oh, good safety tonight. Also a big thing. Travis Kelsey has been held to what, like 4 catches in the last 2 games, 3 games versus the Bengals. Where'd Kelsey go? They look down at their suddenly smooth their fupa area. They look down and they're like, "Where'd my dick go?" And Travis Kelsey's just gone. There's no Travis Kelsey. He's just, you know why he's gone? Because they have very good safeties in goddamn Buffalo too. That like 5'1" safety they have, or corner, Mike Matheny or so, I don't know what the fuck his last name is. He's an absolute dog, and he's like number 25 or 29 or something. And then they also have Jesse Bates, who I think is the direct cover on Travis Kelsey. And dude, he just eliminates Kelsey. And if you take out Kelsey. If Brady had Burrow talent, I think he would. Yeah, pretty much. Well, Brady and Burrow have similar arms. You gotta think. Oh, if he had the talent that Burrow had, yeah. I thought you meant Burrow's talent. I'm like, I don't know. Tom and him are like the same skill level almost. Burrow's like slightly faster, but like arm strength, arm accuracy, all very similar. Tom might have a slightly stronger arm than Burrow, but Burrow's maybe a little bit more accurate. It's not. Burrow doesn't have the bomb ass fucking 900-yard deep arm. He's unreal accuracy, and very good decision making. That's what I compare more to Brady, like with Burrow. Is the decision making ability and the ability to read defenses like uncannily quick, and he gets the ball out really really fast too. Burrow does. So there's those 2 things that I say are his most Brady aspects. Oh yeah, Brady with those guys, he'd never lose a game again. If you gave him Chase and Higgins, he'd win every single game next year. It wouldn't even be close. It'd be yeah. Yep. Burrow's very talented. He can move up in the pocket. He rolls the pocket to his left, to his right, which makes the defenders that are rushing Burrow fall off to the sides. It seems like Burrow gets, like, he should be sacked more, but he doesn't because he moves in the pocket well. He knows how to, like, stand up and then move forward in the pocket. Like, he sees somebody rushing hard, like, because a lot of pass rushes, you kind of have to have an idea of the pass rush. So, like, you'll see somebody from, like, the left end come flying off that end, right? You know in your back of your mind, that's a very hard move. That's a very fast, aggressive, not a lot of fluidity is coming in that motion because it's also a rather large person. So when you're dealing with that, you have to kind of time it and then subtly slide forward. Because if you make it too aggressive and too big of a movement, they can probably adjust too. But it's that subtle slide forward, or like that subtle shift in your body where they'll go from hitting you like right here to like you shift up like that kind of, and they fucking slide right behind you. And Brady is one of the most, like, Brady should get sacked more than he is because he is so incredibly slow and unathletic. But like you'll see it, like Tom will like move his hips at the last second. All of a sudden you'll see 2 guys fly behind him and almost kill each other. Dude, it's poetry watching Tom actually work in a pocket with his footwork. For a guy who's very slow, very unathletic, arguably has some of the best footwork maybe ever in NFL history in the pocket. Like I mean, if you know what you're looking for and what you're actually watching for, it's like I don't even know how he does. And Burrow is very close to that. That was actually the reason I looked at Burrow when he was in college, and I was like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna be so good in the NFL, because he was doing this shit at LSU, just moving up in the pocket, shifting guys to the left, shifting them to the right, making dudes fall off of him and shit. And I was like, that's such a high level fucking football. There's pro quarterbacks that have no way. They have no ability to do that, and they never will. Mahomes can't do that, by the way. That's why he runs around like that. You know why quarterbacks tend to bail out of the pocket and go like all crazy? Because they do not feel any form of comfortability with the step up and then using their body to dictate the pass rush and using it to slide off. They have no comfortability. They don't know how to do that. Burrow can take off if he needs to. I think Matthew Stafford was also incredibly good at that, but like he just kind of, I think Stafford was less out of skill and more just like out of, I'm fucking tougher than everybody. Just, what do you mean, Matt? Watch this. It's like, oh no, why is he doing that? You shouldn't be stepping up against that Lions line. You should take an extra 4 or 5 yards in your snap there, Matt, please. You're gonna get yourself injured. Burrow can read defenses, and he is so good he can make a play when. Yeah, and he's very accurate too. Yep, and he knows when to. He has very good anticipation, touch on a route, very good timing. He has unreal chemistry with the guys on his team. That's a big thing. More so important than like raw talent, because again, Zach Wilson's just as talented. I mean, arguably he's more talented than fucking Burrow is in terms of like speed, arm strength, arm ability, and like all the weird, random, like raw athletic skills. You give every single one of them to Wilson, but he's got the. It's just like the leader ability, man. I don't know how to describe it. It's like in the intangibles, things that are like hard to describe, the things that you just can know or not. Like that's I'm glad I have these examples now I can use for intangibles, because it's like, well, then you've got a guy like Burrow, who his random teammates are calling it Burrowhead Stadium. They're just like, everybody kind of goes through Joe Burrow. You hear the interviews. They're like, all we go is, Joe's our guy. Like if Joe's not nervous, we're not nervous. It's like, dude, he literally is making guys around him way the fuck better than they are. It's like, yeah, that's a great that's a leader of the team. That's the guy. Compare that to Zach Wilson. That's the thing. That's to me, that's the difference. It's that right there. Why one guy will make it as a Hall of Famer and the other guy might fail out of this league. One's a leader and the other isn't. And you can't go into a locker room and be that. And like if Zach Wilson was just like a wide receiver, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. That guy, he's kind of got a weird attitude, but that's kind of the position. Some of these guys can be a little fucking strange. Yep, exactly. Yeah, the team took Burrow's identity and Chase's identity and just fucking it's just what the team is. It is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase's football team. Got to remember, Jamar Chase should also be getting a little bit of credit for the culture of the team. I feel like he's sort of the lost voice of that situation. Again, I mean, Chase and Burrow, and then Chase is selling Burrow, so I think that's rather important. Probably going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes because it'll be midnight. That'll be a good 2.5 hour stream almost. It was a good little, last little... I got some good energy here at the end. I'm still going to go, though, till about the end. T. Higgins. Yeah, Higgins is a monster. I don't think they have any real course of action to not re-sign him. I think you have to figure out a way to keep... I think you have to keep Burrow, Higgins, and Chase forever. It's just like, oh, no. And Higgins might actually be very difficult to keep around. Because he's going to want to get wide receiver 1 money. Yeah, I think we would have won if we didn't get kind of screwed on a bad call, but it is what it is. We shouldn't have gave up all those points, I guess. We shouldn't have let some guy named fucking Irwin score 2 touchdowns against us. That's why we lost. Boyd's going to have to take the grenade and get out. Yeah, Boyd's probably gone. But, I mean, that happens a lot to Bengals receivers. They always... I mean, he's going to go be good. So that's the weird thing. Boyd's a good receiver. That's the funniest part. He's like the Mohamed Sanu of the Bengals right now. You know how like a couple years ago, or like during the Dalton era, they had Marvin Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and AJ Green, which is really think about how fucking cracked that receiving core was. They had Andy Dalton winning like 12 games a year and shit. That was unreal. Yeah, I hope Boyd wins it for them. Yeah, Julio and Sanu. Yeah, exactly. Sanu went down and became literally... Sanu was like the 3rd string receiver on that team. And he went down and almost won it. Like, he was that good. Really fucking good. And then also, so you'd have to imagine you don't want Marvin Jones, i.e. fucking T. Higgins, to go somewhere else. So, yes, with Saquon. Yeah, he had to sit behind AJ and Marvin. Yep. And it's kind of similar for Boyd right now. But I don't think the team makes the same mistake and let a player like Marvin Jones or T. Higgins leave. It's just like, why would you? Don't do that again. You should have never let Marvin leave. That was a fucking terrible idea. Because immediately it was like, I guess our team's done now. We suck ball sack again. Saquon, I'm thinking he sticks with the Giants. I think they'll get something done with incentives on it. Josh, I don't know what's gonna happen with Josh Jacobs. Doesn't seem like he wants to be there very much. Like, if he could get out of being a Raider somehow, it feels like he'd not be a Raider somehow. You know what I mean? Like, if he could just be like, all right, I'm out. I'm not resigning here. But I feel like something weird is holding him to be a Raider. Jacobs to the Bills. Oh, fuck, dude. That'd be my worst nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of these teams are so close to be it, but, like, I don't think they can afford Josh Jacobs, too. He was their center, and he's really well liked by Jim Irsay, so I'm guessing that's a big part of why he got the job. But it was also only an interim coach. I don't think they're going to hire him long term. I know he's getting he was invited to one of the 7 finalists, but like, there's 7 of them. Yeah, Frank Reich got hired as the Panthers head coach. First quarterback in team history, took the first snaps, played the first 3 games. I believe lost all 3 of them, and is now the quarterback coach. Or the coach. Wilkes. Yeah, everyone keeps saying that, but it's like, I mean, again, I feel bad for Wilkes. But people were acting like it was kind of like this weird guaranteed thing with him. Like he was supposed to get the job for a pretty minimal effort or something. Winning like 2 games. But yeah, I wonder if Wilkes will get a job somewhere else now, though. He probably deserves it. Yeah, Jeremy, I feel so bad. Jeremy, I feel kind of bad for you guys. I'm like, oh my God, please don't. Oh no. If they don't get that guy, they're fucked. But like, if you guys get Rodgers, everything will be good. You guys might be Super Bowl contenders with him. But boy, oh boy. This is the same desperate ass shit that fucking Broncos tried to a T. Your coach sure seems to think you guys are going to be getting a better quarterback, though. That big ass goofy smile in that press conference the other day. I don't know if we'll have a competition between Zach and the new guy. I mean, Derek Carr, that's what you guys get. That's what you deserve. Jerk ass foot. No, just kidding. They start making fun of the Jets. Be a fucking bunch of jerks. Yeah, I mean, that's all you really need is fucking Derek Carr or Jimmy G, and you can win a Super Bowl with that team. That's the funniest thing about the situation. Yeah, Kellen Moore might be getting a job offer too. TB, there's from what I've heard about the Eric Bieniemy situation, there's some concerns about his character. Man, there's weird concerns about character with him, and it dates back to an incident at Colorado. And I've heard like a lot of players don't fucking like the guy. Like I'm not trying to like make stuff up, but like there's this weird thing that I keep hearing very consistently about Bieniemy. Teams are very concerned with his character after the meeting. And because again, he doesn't really like to ever talk about or discuss the situation that happened at Colorado or Colorado State, where I believe he just beat the fuck out of some lady. I'm talking like he just like had a moment or something happened and he beat the dog shit out of some woman. It was brutal. I don't know the full. Yeah, it was in the 90s. Again, he was a young man, but it's also like one of them things where he doesn't really answer it or talk about it or let people like or like answer like questions about it, where it's like, ooh, okay. And there's also concerns that he doesn't call or create plays. Like he'll call plays sometimes, like it's like kind of half and half, but he doesn't create the plays. He just calls Andy Reid's plays. And I think Matt Nagy's failure has teams a little bit apprehensive about Bieniemy. Again, do I think Bieniemy's earned a shot? Fuck yeah. I don't know why he hasn't been hired. But again, I don't think it has, because again, there have been plenty of black coaches hired, and Bieniemy's been interviewed by every shitty team. It literally can't just be a racial thing. It's like, man, I don't know. Maybe it was like one team interviewed him and the rest were like, we're the good. It seems like every team interviews him. I feel like every team has interviewed him. The Lions interviewed him. I feel like the Jets did a couple years ago. Like it seems like everybody interviews him. I feel like he interviews for every open job every year. And no, I get the Rooney Rule stuff, but it's like it's like nobody wants to hire him, despite other black coaches being hired. So I don't agree with that. It's like, why would he be blacklisted? What did he do? You know what I mean? Like what would he have done to have been, buffooned out? That's what he never did anything. And then you learn a little bit of what went on in his personal life, and you're like, maybe he's really evasive about that stuff. He's like, that was when I was young, don't worry about it. Like, what if maybe that's how he answers it, and he kind of goes, come on, we were all young once, and then laughs it off or something, and maybe it just rubs a bunch of really weird white billionaires in a wrong way. A lot of those guys are like against or publicly against beating their women. Some of them don't. Some of them probably giggle about it, like Jerry Jones. Hey, I beat my wife too. Just that's what I mean. It's just like I don't know what it is. Bieniemy has a weird history, dude. I'm telling you. There's like a couple tense situations in his past where you're like, that could maybe. And again, then you hear rumors that players may or may not be the biggest fan of him. You know what I mean? There's enough there to where you could question things. I say that too. I think he might be a shitty interview. Like I say that as a joke, but it's like, what if he is? He just walks in, he's like, "Hi, I'm Eric." What? Yeah, my name's Eric Bieniemy. Like what if he has like bad stage fright? He's just nervous to talk to people he doesn't know. He's like, "Hi." He's not looking at him. "Hi, my name's Eric." "What are you looking at, bro?" "Nothing. You got a nice office, man." It's just like, oh no, is he autistic? Are you autistic? "No, I'm normal. I'm shy." Yeah, like he's just weird and distant and kind of autistic, like a lot of football coaches probably are. He's just super shy. He's like that emoji that's like this. That's just Eric Bieniemy the whole meeting. He's like, "Can I be the coach?" And they're just like, "This is the most uncomfortable I've ever been for 4 hours." "What do you mean?" He did that weird emoji face for 4 hours. And the only time he spoke and he would say shit like, "I can have his job." That's all he said for 4 fucking hours. I don't even know why we went longer than 5 minutes of that. I thought he'd break character after maybe maybe an hour or something. He dug in. I seen him fucking wiggle in a chair and get his ass cheeks spread out more comfortably. There was a disgusting ass sweat stain on that chair when he stood up and left. I was mortified. Yeah, I don't know why I don't understand why he accepts interviews. It's just like at some point he'll get a job, but it's like, what team's gonna bite the? You know what'd be funny though, is if he does go get a job and then immediately wins the Super Bowl as a first year head coach. There'd be a bunch of people that'd be like, maybe we should have pulled the trigger, huh? Like that's that's how that'll work, right? He'll actually be like the genius behind why the Chiefs started winning Super Bowls and shit, and why Andy Reid went from a forever choke artist to like a good coach. like he leaves and the Chiefs win 7 games. Bieniemy's new team wins like 13 and wins the Super Bowl on like the fucking Titans or something, on like the Texans. I'd be like, yeah, because that actually adds up. That's how that was supposed to go. It would be hilarious, but would anybody be shocked if that's how something in the NFL actually happened to work? Because again, remember, the NFL is scripted, and they must have a predictable script. No, that'd shock everybody. Would be like, I didn't expect Andy Reid to actually be a shitty coach. That's hilarious. I 0% seen it. Every team that interviewed with him be like, what the fuck? Why did he come in and just light a Newport up and just stand in the back by the door and go, you already know, motherfucker, hire me or nah? That's all he said. And then he'd look at me for like 30 minutes and we'd send him on his way. So we never hired him. He's just very aggressive. He'd come in and say, I already know I'm the best interview here. Hire me or get the fuck out of my face. In my office now. And so we'd ask him to leave, and he'd be like, all right, see ya. And then he'd get up and leave. Yeah, Jeremy, I feel like a lot of people, I noticed a lot of the rigged NFL comments stopped after a lot of the situation. They were like, fuck, man, I guess it's not rigged. Why? I don't know. I don't think they would have did this twice in a row. I think they were aiming on the Bills, man. They were really high on Buffalo. Yeah, you can't really ignore how much the NFL wanted Buffalo in the Super Bowl this year. Really hard to ignore that when you're trying to claim the league is rigged. It's like, well, why didn't the team they want to win the Super Bowl in Buffalo win the Super Bowl? Well, they can't rig it that obvious. Yeah, they can. It's like, guys, if they can rig it, they can just rig it. Like, why wouldn't they? Like, oh, it would be too obvious. They don't care. Or to you guys, it's so obviously rigged that they just are doing it anyway. Why aren't they doing it now? Some games they don't. The playoff games are all random by chance. They're like, all right, we're going to rig it all the way up to the playoffs, and then it's truly random for some reason. That'd be wild. That'd be a wild way to rig something. Be like, it's only rigged until the regular season. The playoffs are real. Specifically like the AFC divisional round and NFC, specifically the divisional round onward. The wild card's fake too. Because he died a couple times, and he's probably trying to just get back up to a stasis of feeling normal and not freaked out that he almost died. I have a question for you, TB. You go through something like that. Is the first thing you want to do go jump on a fucking camera? Because a bunch of conspiracy theorists want to prove that you're alive? You gonna go do a Oprah interview to cheer on his brothers? No, I mean, he's a member of the Bills. I mean, I know it's crazy he went to the game. I mean, but like he plays for the team, and those are like his buddies. I have a counterpoint to this whole thing, right? I get it's a little strange. He still won't really do it. Again, I get it. I get why people are like freaking out. It's a little inappropriate, I would have to say. It's a little fucked up, but like I get why there's this is going on, right? One of his active teammates, right, is named Cole Beasley. I understand why people are truly concerned. I understand that they're concerned, but they're not concerned about what they saw on TV. They're concerned about the vaccine stuff. They're trying to get this so they could use it against the vaccine and use it as a way to, they're trying to politicize this man's fucking football injury and turn it into politics. So they're not coming at a place from concern. Don't get that twisted, TB. They're not. They could give a fuck about Damar Hamlin. If he's fine, they'll never talk about him again. Guarantee it. Not once. As soon as he's fine and proven to be fine, you'll never hear a single person talk about the vaccine or talk about Damar Hamlin again. None of these people that are pretending to care about him on the right-wing media people, they're like, oh, you gotta show him us. They'll never talk or mention him again. Just so you're aware about their actual care for the situation. Now, Cole Beasley literally like quit playing football 2 years ago over the vaccine stuff. Went on multiple long tirades, went on fucking just long ass Twitter posts about fuck this vaccine, I ain't taking it, I'll quit playing football, I don't need this shit, I can go work in right-wing media. Like, you don't think Cole Beasley, one of the most outspoken fucking people in the NFL today, who's on that team in the locker room, has 100% access to Damar Hamlin, wouldn't have blown this wide open? He hates the NFL, Cole Beasley. He loves the players that he plays with, and he likes the guys that he plays with, and he likes football. He hates the NFL with a burning motherfucking passion. He hates the league, like brutally hates the league. Do you not think he'd sink the league if he had the opportunity to do so right now? Oh, he would. He'd fuck the NFL over real good. Because, again, he doesn't need to play. He's got a lot of money. He's got a career in right-wing media as soon as he steps away if he wants it. He's got a career in Florida as a politician if he wants it. He's got whatever he wants sitting in front of him. He could dude, if Cole Beasley, if fucking Damar Hamlin was worse off or dead from the fucking vaccine stuff and like from all of this, Cole Beasley would have told the whole damn world. Tell me I'm wrong about this. Well, what's he afraid of? The NFL? No, he's not. He shits on the NFL regularly. Go follow his Twitter and you'll find that out. He shits on everything. He don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure he raps the N-words in his rap songs and just kind of still just no one really does anything about it because it's like, it's just Cole Beasley. He's also very well respected in the locker room too, surprisingly. Because again, he's a very outspoken person and sometimes guys just kind of like that quality in a player. Again, he's a little bit fucking strange with his politics, but he's genuinely just, it's the vaccine thing really fucked him up. But he's a very good dude. Like he'd come forward about something like that, man. He wouldn't just hide it. He's like, well, the NFL threatened him. Oh, what does he care? He'll go down to Florida and fucking get protected. He doesn't give a fuck. Well, he'll never be allowed to play again. He's like 36. He's already done anyway. He came back this year to help the team out because they desperately needed a receiver again. He did a fucking favor to Buffalo. Because he really loves the Bills. Again, he would not let this be going on to his buddy fucking Damar. Again, he's probably very close with Hamlin. And if fucking the Bills mandating a vaccine made him go fucking, nah, dude, nah. Again, the Bills didn't, but the kid got one. He would expose it. He doesn't need to, though. Like, why? I mean, not like he did that before. It just, why would he do anything he never did before? What, just to be like, hey, I'm okay, everybody? It's like, yeah, it's like, what, to appease conspiracy theorists? I wouldn't. I was making a joke. I was like, I'd never show my face again if I'm Damar Hamlin. I'd put out a written statement about thanking everybody profusely for all the help for the charity, explain every single thing that I plan to do with my that charity money. And just move on from that. What? So because they donated to a charity, they have every right for him to what? Immediately present himself to the public? Dude, I don't know what people expect from the guy. Like, what do you want him to make a speech? People donated to a charity. Like I don't know, man. He doesn't have to fucking literally, as long as he doesn't blow the money on himself, which is illegal. He could put out a small written update. Dude, if I'm him, I'm never showing my face again until people shut the fuck up about it. I just wouldn't do it. But nah. It's better for my fucking it's better for me if I keep my name in the news by keeping myself mysterious. Like I'd wear fucking shiesties and wear fucking big ass sunglasses the rest of my life. Be like, you'll never know if it's me or not. And then when I play football, I'd never take my helmet off and wear a fucking reflective visor. Oh, that'll bother the fuck out of people. I hope he does it. I hope he never shows his face again. Just to fuck with people. Because again, people are acting really fucking weird about this. Like, you put yourself in his shoes. That's all I have to ask you. Like, would you expect the people to be treating you like the way what you expect of DeMar? Like, genuinely think about that. Like, would you be like, how would you feel if people are like, dude, you need to just put a picture of yourself. We need you to put video up so that way we can prove that you aren't dead from the COVID shot. But what the fuck? I got hit in the chest from a football injury. Yeah, but we need to have proof that you're not dead from Pfizer. So if you don't post that for us, you're clearly a body clone and you're not really alive and you're a fucking liar bitch. You're lying to us. You're not really alive. I'd be like, well, you can all go fuck yourselves. I ain't doing none of that. Like, seriously, put yourself in his shoes and imagine people are doing that to you after you just died twice. After your heart stopped twice and you had to have fucking CPR performed on you and you find all this out and then you go online and all people are talking about is how you're not really real and you're really dead. Man, oh yeah, I definitely want to prove to these fucking people that I'm alive. What good is that going to prove? The only reason he got hurt anyway was the vaccine doesn't prove anything. Yeah, fuck you people. Hope your kids get measles. Or rubella. And then you're like, what happened? How'd they get things that were supposed to be eradicated? Because your gross-ass kids don't have their vaccines. That you do know this is all the whole Damar Hamlin situation is related to the vaccine, right? 100% of time, if this would have happened a year ago, these people, or before the vaccine fucking garbage popped up, no one would have ever second guessed him being alive or second guessed him not wanting to immediately step on a camera or prove that he's alive. Then that would have never been demanded of this man. Not once. Because everybody would have realized, oh, he got fucking popped in the chest and it was a bad hit. He got fucking commotio cordis. Give him some time. Now everybody's like, fuck that. He doesn't need any time. Get him on the camera. Get him an Oprah interview. Fucking make him sit in front of 50 different cameras and microphones. So make him fucking work out in front of us. We want to see him fucking play football. We want to see him run routes. We want to see him do everything. We want to see Damar Hamlin full strength and speed. No, he got hit in the chest at the... Dude, fuck you. You're done. Like, are you really this retarded? Like, are you a retarded person? No, he got hit in the fucking chest. It happens all the time in like fucking sports, dude. Especially like to younger athletes. You probably never played sports in your life, TB, so you probably have no idea what this is. But like if you hit somebody in the chest at the right moment, you can completely reset their heart rhythm and nearly kill them. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. When did they do that? What fucking bullshit blog sites do you... No, you are. You're being a smartass. They did not rule out commotio cordis. Nope, they didn't. That's literally the determining cause of what happened to him. What the fuck are you talking about? What doctor told you that, huh? Dr. Malone? On Joe Rogan? No, they didn't. They said it was commotio cordis. They said it was fucking commotio cordis that was the likely event of everything. No, it's commotio cordis. The fuck do you think he was... What do you think happened? His heart just blew up and stopped randomly? He just had a random heart attack for no particular reason? His heart just stopped and had to be reset for just because? For shits and giggles? Yeah. Because of the vaccine? You know what's crazy? I've literally never... That's not a real thing. But anyway. You probably believe all that, like... All those videos and then people that are like, look, I took the vaccine and I can't stop shaking. Oh no, it's only affecting rich white Republican people though for some reason. I'm a rich white Republican. I'm the only people who have COVID vaccine side effects. You ever see them videos how it's always just like fucking white old, like 40-year-old to 50-year-old white people with a lot of money in their house, it looks like. It's never like... It's never like a black person. It's just like, or like a Chinese person having some problems from the COVID vaccines, or like an Indian person. It's always some very wealthy looking white family. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I totally don't buy that. Yeah, good lie there, fucking losers. I hope something terrible happens to your family medically because of that lie. Dude, you're playing politics. The vaccine had nothing to do with the fucking DeMar. How do you even know he's got a vaccine? What if he's not vaccinated? Nobody even knows DeMar's fucking vaccine status. Everyone's like, nah, he's probably vaccinated. The Bills are one of the least vaccinated fucking teams in the NFL, by the way. There's a pretty good shot he just doesn't have one. Didn't he also come from like fucking Florida? Like one of the Florida universities where they 100% didn't mandate any vaccines? I don't know, though. He might have come from a South school, though, where I don't think they mandated any of that shit. That's the only reason there's conspiracy around this. TB. Do you know if there wasn't conspiracy, the vax related to any of this, where people just assume everything happened because of the vaccine? Do you know that's literally what you're like defending right now? Like the people who are mentioning that they want to see him alive, the only reason they're doing that, TB, is because of the vaccine stuff. Okay. Dude, it's like, how do you like? It's literally like that's what 90% of the people who want to see the real, the real Damar Hamlin is all. It's literally 100% vaccine related. These people don't give a flying fuck about some football player they've never heard of until like 2 days before that. Vlad. Vlad, he's not being like that. I'm just explaining, like, it's like, dude, it's like 99% of the reason people think that the Damar Hamlin situation is worse than it is because of the vaccine. That's all it is. If the vaccine wasn't around, none of these people would talk about any of that. No, you don't. Yeah, everyone's a zombie. Yeah, everyone I know is a zombie too, except I know 0 people who have any vaccine injury from that vaccine. 0 people. I know 0 people who have a problem. Literally 0. And everyone I know in my life has gotten vaccinated. My mom, who had brain cancer and lung cancer, got the vaccine and had no problems with it. So if you have a vaccine injury, your body's weaker than my mom's when she was in the throes of double cancer. Congrats. You're a bitch ass and your genetics deserve to die. Sorry. I don't care. Goodbye. That's all I have to say about that. If you can't take if your body can't handle a vaccine that my sick ass mom could, that's pathetic. That's all I have to say. Your genetics don't need to be around anymore. Take it and go away so we don't have to have you around. That's all I have to say about that. That's as deep as I'll get about that one. It's like, you know what? You know, my mom had lung and brain cancer that was terminal and killing her, and her body reacted just fine to the vaccine. 0 injury. Yeah, no, people always die. People have always died. You know why? You know what's funny? That died unexpectedly. They're like, how come only 2 people are listed as died unexpectedly in 2018, and then in 2022 it's like 400 people have died on it because they haven't had their fucking autopsies yet. You know how medical science works, you dumb fucking bitch. It's died suddenly and then it becomes a different cause of death. Barely. They'll take a death that happened a day ago and be like, how'd he die suddenly? What's the reason? I don't know. 4 months when we have an autopsy, I'll fucking tell you. The fuck are you talking about? It's probably a heart attack because he's fucking 52 and he's 220 pounds and does steroids. I don't know. Wonder what he died from. God, I hate that shit with the died suddenly. The died suddenly is one of the craziest things ever to me because it's like, you're not really trying to compare from like 10 years ago, something called died suddenly, right? When they wouldn't be died suddenly, they would be people who died of like this, not died suddenly because they don't have a cause of death yet. Yeah, some people may have clotting disorders and stuff like that. When did I say you shouldn't exist? Oh, yeah, no. I think you have weak genetics. That sucks for you. But you're one of 0.0 like 3% of people who suffered a vaccine injury. You're literally the rarest of the rare examples of people who have a problem. You gotta think there have been over billions upon billions and billions of this thing administered, and only like fucking 12,000 like credible reports of vaccine. Dude, you gotta understand, this is unarguably one of the safest vaccines in human history. I know you may not want to hear that, some people, but find me another vaccine with as fucking low actual injury rate as this one, where like the reports turned out to be credible. And it wasn't just like some crazy, like, I had a stuffy nose and I broke my leg and it was the vaccine. Like, that's a lot of what those fucking VERS reports are. They're all horseshit. You have to, there's like 12,000 credible ones. Yeah, I don't know, again, fucking Vlad's the only person I've ever met, if he's being honest, that's had a problem with the vaccine. Literally, he's the only person I know now. One person. It's crazy that he's also against vaccines and shit like that, but it's, whatever, it's fucking convenient, I'm just playing around, Vlad. I'm sorry that that's happened. That's got to be, you probably have an allergic to something. No, I'm just saying you probably have something in there. I literally, Vlad, I was like, you came in fucking around. That's why I did like this thing. I was trying to sound sarcastic. I know you're not. I was playing up with what you did earlier. I was playing into your big pharma rant. I'm sorry that you had that happen. I didn't. Again, it's just so rare, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actual problems with like this vaccine. It's like, I've been around so many people that have gotten this vaccine that have had no problems with it. Also, that's pretty much why they're using it against him. No, Jax, calm down. But before I get out of here, because I have been live for like 2.5 hours, or almost 3 hours. You know how we have enemies, right? Like China and Russia in America, who typically hack into a lot of our databases and steal all of our information. They do it all the time. It's just a common thing. We do it to them too. It's just, it's kind of how things operate. Why haven't China or Russia gotten a hold of Moderna or specifically Russia or Iran specifically? I'd say Russia or Iran. I won't use China. They're a bad example there. Russia, to completely, how one of their long-term goals is to disable the United States and break it apart internally and make the strife so large that the people can't handle it. Wouldn't they, how you can ultimately just break this country? Publish proof that Pfizer and Moderna are lying and being completely deceitful, and it was just poison. Prove it. They could have that information. They could just steal it from one of them companies. Why haven't they ran to the rooftop screaming that they figured out the secret, that America lied? That'd make everybody turn on the government. Everybody. The vaxxed would join the anti-vaxxers in their protests, and it would be mass chaos. Why isn't an enemy moved on that? If I was trying to destabilize the United States and take over a country like the Ukraine, I would immediately release that information with very credible results, not just some conspiracy theorists and hope that people take it up. No, I'd have hardline scientific data and just throw it out there to the world. But here you go, they lied, motherfuckers. You really going to take that from them? Yeah, there's no evidence that it's a fucking bad vaccine or something more nefarious than what it is. If there was, it would be released and published by the Russians. 1,000%. Or the Chinese would just fucking do that. You got to remember, we're not super well loved by all these countries. No, they'd do anything to destabilize to make it easy to defeat or easy to move around with us distracted. And you also have, that's another reason why I tend to avoid things like that. Because I'm like, it seems like somebody would have exposed them by now. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, though. Yeah, allegedly. I don't really believe a lot of what those countries say anymore. We just kind of gotta, we kind of gotta take what China's up to with a little bit of I don't really trust China and Russia anymore after what this whole Ukraine fiasco for Russia. I'm like, yeah, they were supposed to be like the second greatest military on the face of the earth in Russia, and that was disproven. Yeah, that's all TV. It's fun debate. I don't mind talking about stuff like this, but I tend to get a little bombastic, and I do apologize. But again, I just like to look at things like a more. It's like, well, why wouldn't our enemies expose this? This seems like very obtainable information to fuck us on. I can't imagine it's that hard to steal from Moderna servers. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if they fucking do present something though, like I said, I'll join immediately. Be like, they poisoned me. I'm a victim. I thought I was doing the right thing. But I also have very sick parents, or very older and not as healthy parents, so I don't really want to ever possibly pass them something and kill them. But, at least my dad anymore. That's something I want to be able to live with. And if I'm protected against shit like that, at least I can't really bring it in, or at least I'm trying to help. It's, the little things. If I didn't have elderly parents, I would never took it. I'd be like, it is what it is. Hopefully I don't kill anybody that I don't care about. I'm like a typhoid Mary when it comes to viruses, though. That's pretty much what it is. I can carry the flu and not get sick from it. No. If Putin was going to use nukes, I feel like he would have used them by now. And I also wonder why the United States just doesn't seem to give a flying fuck about the threat of nuclear warfare. I don't touch the border stuff. That's pretty complicated stuff, and I'm not really an expert on that. I don't have a good enough opinion on that. I don't really understand immigration too well. I think it's good, but I don't know how much it's good. You know what I mean? I'm like, what number is where it gets weird and hard to sustain? You know what I mean? I don't know. I have to think about. I'd have to look into it. Don't know. I'm like, well, at some point it might be too many people, but at some point there might not be enough people. Because you never want no immigration, because that could get really bad. So I don't know. There's got to be some middle ground where everybody could be happy. Yeah, and I'm a compromiser. I'm like, I don't know. Everybody can find something to be happy about. Jesus fucking Christ doesn't have to be absolute. None. All of them. It's like, all right, well, that doesn't work. That's not how anything's gonna work around here. Jesus Christ. Like, can't we just fucking everybody come somewhere in the middle a little bit and be like, all right, we'll go like fucking this many. I think that's how they used to do it. Is like they had a quota of people and they just be like, once we hit that number, we're full for the year. Everybody else got to kind of wait around in a bush or something. I don't fucking know. Get in line early next year. Maybe something like that again. But I think that system's broken because of money, and I don't fucking know. I don't know. Yeah, people use that word too much. A green comet star. Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I heard about there's going to be an asteroid that burns up in the atmosphere pretty soon. That'll be pretty cool. And that might be the one where you're talking about. Yeah, that's why I don't really like to talk about immigration. It's a fucking weird topic, Vlad. It's like, oh man, there's so much to this fucking stuff. There's like cultural topics that can come up and fucking economics and fucking yeah, hopefully we're all gone. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be around. I hope I'm dead. That's why I don't mind being dead at some point, you know? It's like, all right, well, at least I don't got to live through the sun blowing up the planet. That's going to be pretty fucking cool. That's my big happy thing. I'm like, all right, I don't have to live through that. But all right, let's start to wrap this up, guys. I think it's better to learn stuff. Nah, I like science too. I wish I learned better in science class. I wish my science teachers were more entertaining. I think that's the problem. I think you have to have a big personality to be able to teach science correctly. Bengals Niners, that's what I'm thinking, TB. I've learned better from like college professors who are really into the science that they teach. Even if they sound like these, I can't understand them. But like I actually learn the content like a lot. Like you can barely understand them. And they're just fucking really into what they're doing and they're very smart about it. I'm like, man, I'm learning a lot. I don't even know how. It's crazy though. I'm like, holy fuck, I have no idea what this guy said, but like it all makes sense. Again, it's the animated, it's the giving a fuck about the subject. I think it makes it so hard. It was so much easier to care about science. Because if you just got some guy reading out that, you know, the ball is blue and it is full of 17% oxygen, and then if you fill it with this, it floats. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I've been live for 3 hours. I did not mean to do that tonight. We got 100 views. We almost hit 100 views, I think. Let's see how close we got. It took 3 hours and we almost pulled her off. 96. There we go. We're back on to relevancy, baby. Thank you guys for a fun stream tonight. I appreciate it. I hope you're were entertained by the last hour. Pretty much, yeah. Again, hopefully there's no hard feelings. Whenever like topics like that come up, if I ever get like incendiary, it's because I shouldn't talk about topics like that. I get like in a weird sports mindset and I'm like, fuck everybody who doesn't agree with me. And it's that's why I'm not a politics guy. Because again, I can be very nuanced and be very cool about it, but the second I get into like a weird sports mood, I'm like, you guys want to hear some toxic shit? It's just some weird worm wiggles into my brain and I get really shitty about things. And I don't like to do that about non-sports ideas. I don't like to ever shit on someone's like thoughts, you know, because I feel like that's rude. You know, that's all. I don't like to make people feel stupid about like non-sports takes. If it's a sports take, I don't care. I'll fucking make you feel retarded. I genuinely don't care about that. I'll make you feel bad if you have a bad sports take. But if you just have like a take I don't agree with in the real world, I'll do my best to be very nuanced about like picking it up and discussing it. Because I feel bad if I make someone feel bad about like a thought that's not sports related. Bad sports take. You belong on ESPN comment sections. You know, fuck you. You're out here giving me I think Mahomes is really good because he can throw far. If you give me a take like that, we're gonna make fun of you for the rest of your life. It's like every time I see you, I'm gonna be like, I think Mahomes is a really good quarterback. He can throw the ball far. It's like, wow, great take, dipshit. I'm glad you wasted everybody's time because I read the comments. So, all right, guys, you guys have a great night. And I don't ever want to do that to anybody. So I apologize if I did that. I'd feel bad. That's not who I am about non-sports stuff. Sports stuff is whatever. You can defend yourself. You watch sports. You're a big boy. You can defend your own takes. You don't need to, But I got to be pretty cool about the non-sports stuff. At least I think. Yep. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of your night. Share the show with your friends. Yeah, he has magic in the arm, dude. Literally, he pulled Excalibur, and Merlin fucking granted him superpowers just like he did to King Arthur in the Knights of the Round Table stuff, dude. Mahomes pulled Excalibur out of Brittany Mahomes' teeth, dude. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, her big ass teeth, or it's like, all right, I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. All right, guys, have a good night. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. I'll see you tomorrow for the preview stream, as always. All right, bye bye, and then of course Sunday for the games.